Oh yeah, 3kingsboxing.com. We back in the building and we back home finally. Yo, me and Bo were at what was it, Giordano's, the pizza spot.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
at Giordano's basically talking about how we couldn't wait to be home, man. At least Bo was saying it more than I was, but I felt him, dog. You get a little homesick sometimes and you go travel and shit for different things.
No
You've been
shit.
there for a couple of days, you kind of like, damn, it's time to go home, dog.
No shit. You buy a
Word up.
motherfucking burrito that costs you $20, nigga. It's time to go back to the crib.
Well, hell yeah. $20 for that shit, bro? Man, hell no. You better give me a side of you know what. All right, man, let's get into this shit.
I know, right?
Look. If I say that word, YouTube gonna demonetize my video. They already doing this shit anyway.
Yeah, I'm about
You
to
know
say
what I'm
doing
saying?
this shit now, man.
They doing this shit any goddamn way,
Fuck
bro.
you too. God damn.
Real talk, man. If you haven't gone to our Facebook page, it's facebook.com/3kingsboxing. If you're already on Facebook, all you gotta do is type in @3kingsboxing in the little search field, bring up our page. We were going live from Las Vegas on there. And what we might start doing is going live on Facebook and just posting the podcast from Facebook onto YouTube. So if you want to interact with us live, we might be doing it on Facebook because we get more love over there. YouTube is on that bullshit. I'm tired of fucking with them. So we'll see. We'll see what happens next. But I'll make an official announcement if that's what we end up doing. All right, let's jump into this shit. Of course, understand this is just entertainment, but we got to get on some ass on this one. No homo, dog. A lot of fans out there, Bo. We talked about this shit on Facebook, and we got Barker Raider. Shout out to Barker Raider, first one in the chat. He or she, not sure if it's a he or she, but they said Canelo should be top 2 pound for pound, and that's going into the hottest topic. Is Canelo realistically pound for pound number 1? Hell, is he realistically pound for pound 1 or 2? What do you think about that, Bo?
Oh man, that's just so hard for me to say. Now, shout out to one of our writers, Big Cool, and here at Three Kings Boxing, we all for cats being of their own mind and have their own decision, right? So you guys don't know, go over to Colossal Sports TV. Big Cool did the whole breakdown, and I listened to the show, and he believes Canelo should be number 1 pound for pound. And he gave a very economical breakdown of Canelo resume and who's on it. Now, what Big Cool didn't do was give you, well, who are these guys at the time that they fought? Now,
that's what a lot of people aren't doing.
Right. Now, keep in mind, the pound for pound list is extremely subjective. Okay. Me personally, I've always said this. I've always said, listen, man, my top 5 pound for pound got to actually be motherfuckers that moved up and down in weight because I'm from the old school. That's what the pound for pound list was for. Okay. Right. So he that's right. Prophet HD, you wasn't here last week. And I was looking for you. And I wanted to see if you was gonna try to step up and put some little heat on me, man. But hey, you here, but Prophet said smash that like button.
Word up.
Absolutely correct. Word up, Prophet. Here's the thing, man. If you can get, I'll put it to you like this. If you can give me a logical explanation why he should be number 1 pound for pound, okay, I fucks with you. But if you could just say, man, he's pound for pound because, I mean, shit, man, he got 3 belts. He beat Daniel Jacobs. Nah, hold on, bro. Stop. You're going to get an argument out of me, right? Because the reality is Daniel Jacobs, and this is going to fuck a lot of y'all up, but go with me here. Daniel Jacobs is this era's of a black version of a Fernando Vargas, meaning that he'll win belts. He'll win belts, but he'll never beat none of the A or elite level dudes.
Well, shit, you can't even say belts. He won 1 belt. Listen, everybody is saying the WBA regular title doesn't matter anymore. So that don't matter. That's a minor title. He's won 1 belt, and it was a vacant belt on top of that.
Okay, but you feel what I'm saying about the.
I feel you though. That was a good analogy though. Straight up, it was.
Yeah. See, so Fernando Vargas was always part of the conversation with the De La Hoyas and the Moses and all that. He just couldn't beat no motherfucking body. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah. And Fernando Vargas was just a step above Obakar. Obakar wasn't able to win because of the motherfuckers he had to go through to win that.
And you know what? Obakar is a better fighter than Fernando Vargas, to be honest with you.
And I agree with you 100%. It's just that Fernando was able to win belts, and whether it be the divisional rankings or whatever you want to say. So when I look at Daniel Jacobs, that's who he reminds me of. Yeah, dog, you might win a belt. Like if Canelo vacates or a belt gets stripped or whatever. Yeah, dog, you might win a belt. You might beat the B, C, D level fighters, but you're not going to beat an A level, elite level fighter. But because of that, when I look at Daniel Jacobs, is Daniel Jacobs, as from a resume standpoint, is Daniel Jacobs better than fucking Jorge Linares? Is Daniel Jacobs better than say what you want to say about Ndongo, but Julian Ndongo beat Trovanovsky, and Trovanovsky was a cat that everybody felt that Terence Crawford was afraid to fight.
I remember that shit because I did a video exclusively on that back when I used to do What's Hot segments. That was like my top one. Mad niggas was out there in these streets. Over there talking about Terence Crawford was scared to fight Eduard Troyanovsky. And I remember a motherfucker came to my channel basically talking shit to me because I was like, why the hell would Terence Crawford be scared of a motherfucker with a last name Troyanovsky? Dude came to me and was like, dog, I seen Eduard spar in a lot of gyms in America, man. And I'm telling you right now, he be giving everybody that work. You don't know shit about boxing. Terence Crawford get fucked up by Troyanovsky. Couple weeks later, he gets knocked out by one punch by Julius Ndongo.
Okay, then after beating Trovanovsky, Ndongo then traveled across another continent to fight Ricky Burns and took that title. So a dude that became a unified champion in less than 6 months, is Daniel Jacobs over that nigga? No, not in my opinion. No, he's not. You're not over that nigga, right? So I don't value Daniel Jacobs as my man Omar Taylor. Jacobs is a poor man's Donald Curry. Stop. Stop.
Come on, bro. That's a good one, though. Like that, I like that shit, dog. I like that.
Doing Donald Curry like that. Do you know the era that boy was in, man? Come on.
Yeah, man. Donald Curry was a bad motherfucker, man, and he had everybody in his division at that time. But that's a good point. We ain't got to think too much about it. It's just funny.
Yeah, it is. But I like that. Good shit, though, man. Good shit. See, dude, this is why I like our lives, man. Cats be bringing it, man. But yeah, so when I look at it, now people are saying that, okay, but he beat Miguel Cotto. But Miguel Cotto, prior to Canelo beat Miguel Cotto, Miguel Cotto had already lost to Austin Trout.
Yeah.
Okay, so Miguel Cotto title, but Miguel Cotto fought a Sergio Martinez that literally was wheelchair to the ring, taking off his oxygen tank, IVs pulled out his veins and lifted up into the motherfucking ring. That's literally my nigga.
They had to shock his heart back into beating mode just for this nigga to get in the ring. Motherfucker was half dead, bro. He was half dead.
You know what I'm saying? So a nigga tried to get on me about Jamel Charlo fighting that one-legged dude. I'm like, hold on, man. Cotto did some shit that was much worse.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Much worse, dog.
Much worse.
I'm at that, right? So
much worse.
So but Miguel Cotto had, he wasn't a top rated, he was a name, but he wasn't a top rated pound for pound guy. So my point, even Shane Mosley had before fighting Cotto, Shane Mosley, I think he had already had a draw with Sergio Mora.
Nigga, he already had a draw with Sergio Mora. He already lost to Manny Pacquiao.
Right. Well, and Floyd, I believe.
Oh yeah, but the Floyd loss don't really matter. At that point in time, because remember, Shane Mosley had revitalized himself right before losing to Floyd. He had knocked out Antonio Margarito, right? A fight many people did not expect to happen. He did it. Then fought Floyd. He lost to Floyd, and actually had a good second round in that fight. Then got obliterated for the remaining 11 rounds. Agreed. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
But at that point, people were like, well, damn, it was just Floyd. Shane still might have something in the tank. Then he lost to Manny Pacquiao in a fucking embarrassing decision. I think Sergio Mora might have been before that one. You know what I'm saying? Then here comes Canelo.
Yeah, and I think prior to him fighting Canelo, he was like 1-3-1 or 1-2-1 or some shit like that.
Yeah,
right?
it was bad.
Right. So it was a matter of he had got some names on his resume. Now let's keep this in mind. What they did with Canelo is no different than what, if you are a smart promoter, you do with a fighter, because names on your resume matter. Danny Garcia got a lot of fucking credit for having a past his prime.
Yeah.
Fucking
Eric Morales.
Eric Morales. I can think. I'm about to say Marco Antonio Barrera, but yeah, Eric Morales on his motherfucking resume. Okay, and that's pretty much what you do. You get names on the guy's resume to make it, because when people Nowadays, hear a name. Oh man, he beat that dude. Oh, he beat that dude. He beat that dude. Yeah, but who was the nigga before that moment took place, right? But it's to take nothing away from the fact that he was a champion. I'm not taking nothing away from him. But who was Miguel Cotto really at that time? Who was motherfucking Shane Mosley really at that goddamn time? Who the fuck was James Kirkland really at that goddamn time? See what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. So if you can make a case saying that the names, the credibility, and however you do your pound for pound, fine. But for me personally, I can't say Jacobs. I can't say hell. Even and y'all gonna get mad. I can't even say Gennady Golovkin because I never, prior to Daniel Jacobs, Gennady Golovkin never fought nobody of that level. He was beating the CD level fighters, the BCD level, but he wasn't
even beat.
We're not even. Yeah, you're right. Not even beat. He was beating the C and D level fighters, but until he faced Daniel Jacobs, that's when we saw him struggle. Which is why to this day, I always tell everybody the motherfucker should have fought Andre Ward so he can get a look at an elite level fight. That's what Canelo did. That's why Canelo is who the fuck he is right now. Now, we'll give Canelo Oleksandr Lara. Although I thought Lara won, but I'll give him Oleksandr Lara. I'll give him motherfucking Austin Trout.
Yeah.
Those niggas were beasts at that time, but Cotto and Mosley and that, no, come on, man. So for me, I still have Crawford number 1. I still have Lomachenko number 2. Now, we can argue about whether he should be over Usyk. Some people say he should. Some people say he shouldn't. We can even argue that one. But
that's
when I look at what Usyk went through in that gauntlet at the cruiserweight tournament, and all these niggas was beast, except Dennis Lebedev was in there, but all these niggas was beast, and all these motherfuckers, like, you had nothing but top dudes in this tournament. So we can make that argument. But for me to say Canelo's number 1 pound for pound, I can't get there. Now, if he becomes undisputed, then we can have us a very good conversation.
Hey, you murdered that shit, bro. I mean, I ain't really. I'm trying to find a sticking point, dog, so I can start my argument, man. But you murdered that shit, bro. Listen, the number one thing that I've been seeing since we went live from Las Vegas on Facebook, the number one thing I've been seeing is people are not considering, as you said, where cats are at when Canelo fought them. All right, none of these motherfuckers were in their prime. None of these motherfuckers, man. I mean, I start from top to bottom. Daniel Jacobs, and we're going to talk about the main dudes. Daniel Jacobs, to me, is a B-level fighter. I've been saying this, man. Yes, man said it's a poor man's Donald Curry. That was a good analogy.
That was a real good. That was fucked up, too.
Bo's analogy to Fernando Vargas, a good analogy. Daniel Jacobs is one of those guys where people, they stuck to him because of his story. You know what I'm saying? He's got an excellent story, man. That's one thing I will admit about Daniel Jacobs. But if you look at Jacobs' resume, Sergey Deontay, the guy that allowed him to get his first title ever, that's if you don't count the WBO regular title. If you're one of those people that say when you're the regular champion, you're not a real champion until you become the super champion. Well, then his first title then is the IBF. All right. Sergey Deontay was a guy still trying to come into himself as a professional. A lot of people were talking about what he did as an amateur. And actually, as an amateur, he wasn't really that good if you look at his amateur fights and some of the people that he lost to. But anyway, he wasn't really that good. But on top of that, a lot of people were saying, there was a lot of buzz like, oh, man, he is that dude. He is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? He might be something at middleweight. But then, Daniel Jacobs actually beats the guy. He goes into relative obscurity. I think he just beat Jack Colque in his last fight. Colque is a former WBA regular champion who hasn't really done shit since he lost to Demetrius Andrade. You know what I'm saying? So he's gone back into relative obscurity now because he lost to Daniel Jacobs. That's not really a big name to me. Mercedes Selecki was a guy nobody knew, but he struggled against him. Luis Arias, that motherfucker's too little to be at 160. Somebody else that's not really that good of a fighter that probably shouldn't even been in the ring with Daniel Jacobs, right? Sergio Mora, he struggled with him in the first fight. Then he knocked him out in the second fight. But Sergio Mora's well past his prime. You know what I'm saying? This is not the Sergio Mora that fought Vernon Forrest. Caleb Truax. Caleb Truax is a guy that accidentally won an IBF title at 168. You know what I'm saying? That's because James DeGale was sitting around too goddamn long. Should have retired way before he fought Chris Eubank Jr. You know what I'm saying? But look at Caleb Truax now. He's over there getting draws or not even draws. He's getting no contests and shit because he's quitting in fights. You know what I'm saying? Like he just did against Peter Quillen. All right. Jared Fletcher, Milton Nunez, Giovanni Lorenzo. I remember him. Remember Giovanni Lorenzo at one time was one of them highly touted prospects?
When I heard the name, it fucked like, whoa, wait a minute.
But he was one of them highly touted prospects at one time, right? I remember that. And I remember, I'm trying to remember who the motherfucker lost to, because I remember they were talking about him all on ESPN. They were all over Giovanni Lorenzo. And then old man Raul Marquez came in and whooped his ass. I remember that shit. When Raul Marquez whooped his ass, he was done for. Well, when Daniel Jacobs fought him, nigga had already lost 5 fights. He had been done. Keenan Collins, Chris Fitzpatrick. Hey, y'all tell me when to stop. Josh Luterin, Robert Killuer. Who the fuck are these people? Right? Right. And then a fight before that was Dimitri Pirog. Daniel Jacobs has not fought anybody. Why are we saying just because Canelo beat him, he's pound for pound number 1 now? Well, he has no fucking resume. So what are you talking about?
You know why, dog? They gotta sell Canelo, man.
Exactly. That's what it is. Daniel Jacobs, I just went down his goddamn resume since he lost to Dimitri Pirog. He doesn't have one. His biggest win is Peter Quillen, a guy who I never rated that high any fucking way, a guy that had a draw with Andy Lee and ducked Matt Korobov, hence dropped his WBO title, which allowed Andy Lee to get the damn title off of Matt, or at least when he knocked out Matt Korobov, it was a vacant title, and then ended up losing it to Billy Joe Sanders and then retired. But Peter Quillen is not somebody I rate high. Shit, if they wouldn't have stopped the goddamn fight against Gabe Rosado, Peter Quillen was on his way to losing to Gabe Rosado. I had Rosado beating Quillen at that time. He's never been a good fighter, dog. That's his biggest win on his resume. Peter fucking Quillen, right? His best performance is Gennady Golovkin, a fight that I actually thought he won, but officially he lost. So what are we talking about here? It's the problem is people get too wrapped up in the shit, right? They're not actually looking at how fighters fight. They're not actually looking at their resumes. They're not actually, I mean, the majority of motherfuckers, when they look at 2 fighters and they're trying to figure out who's going to win what, 90% of these motherfuckers cannot give you a well-educated analysis of each fighter's style, right? 90% of these motherfuckers can't give you a well-educated analysis of the breakdown of how the fight should be going. You see what I'm saying? They just like, well, I love Daniel Jacobs, man. Oh, man, you see how he beat cancer? He's going to win. That's what they do. That's what they do, bro. Daniel Jacobs, and I said this in the pit, man. The pit episode. I said this shit, dog. Daniel Jacobs is a B-level fighter, just barely above average. I said this. His resume shows it. He showed it on Saturday night. All right. Now let me get to. We're gonna stay on this Canelo shit. That's why the topics are so short for this podcast. We're gonna stay on this shit, bro. Why am I hearing Canelo was robbed? I mean, Jacobs was robbed against Canelo. Why am I hearing that? Why am I hearing that, bro? Why am I hearing Jacobs? My headphones. I know, fam. Sorry. I get a little animated at times, dog. I'm sorry, bro. Why am I hearing Jacobs was robbed against Canelo? Why am I hearing this? Why am I hearing this, bro? Daniel Jacobs lost.
That's some fanboy shit there.
Bro, and you know what's funny is I was just on Facebook right before this podcast, right? And I ran into a post. A motherfucker actually tried to create a highlight video of Daniel Jacobs and what he was doing in the fight and said Jacobs was robbed.
So you got the slow-mo video.
bro, let me tell you something, man. What's good, Lord Zoe? That's my man's right there. Listen here, bro. The nigga did the goddamn highlight video, and he was like, yeah, look at that shit, bro. Look at how he fucking up Canelo, dog. Look at that shit. Nigga, it was a jab, move to the left. Jab, move to the right. You know, jab to the body, and step back. What no highlights? So let me do Canelo's highlight video then. Canelo was tagging this motherfucker, dog. Man, I saw matter of fact, wasn't Daniel Jacobs' eye a little fucked up at the end of that fight? I saw it before that. I saw it like round 8. He had a little fucked up eye, dog. He was getting tagged by counters, just like I said he would. All right. Canelo, the shorter fighter with the shorter reach, actually was able to lure Daniel Jacobs into the pocket. Plenty of times in that fight, I'm sitting there saying, why is Daniel Jacobs standing in the middle of the fucking ring? Why is he doing that? Right? Why was he in a phone booth type of fight with a shorter fighter that has a shorter reach and is smarter than you at being able to elude shots and counter? Why are you doing that? I seen that shit plenty of times in that fight, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, the one thing I will say is this, and shout out to my man Blake, and I mentioned this on the Facebook when we went live. I mentioned this, bro. My man Blake said the reason why the fight may have been close is because Daniel Jacobs started to come on late, right? And he likened it to a team who's getting blown out in the first half, a basketball team getting blown out in the first half of their game. And then towards the end of the game, they end up losing by like 8 or 9 points because they came back, but they still lost the fight. He said that's the reason why the scorecards might have been 7-5. Hence, Daniel Jacobs took too fucking long to actually let his hands go, is what he's saying. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So this is the thing, man. This is the thing. Daniel Jacobs is not a good enough fighter in terms of ring IQ to have ever beaten a Canelo Alvarez. We just saw it. Ring IQ, bro. Bo, all he had to do was stay on the outside. Now, those highlights that person put up there, the one thing I will say about that is that was the right game plan Daniel Jacobs was doing. Jab, jab, step away. Jab, go to the body, step away. Jab, lateral movement, jab again, step away. That was the right game plan. But the problem was Daniel Jacobs can't keep that up. And I told y'all that in the pit episode. I said he can't keep up that kind of pace for 12 fucking rounds. Bo said that as he was advocating for Daniel Jacobs. He said, yeah, he's got to do that for 12 rounds. I said he can't do it for 12 rounds. And he showed us that. You see what I'm saying? So there's no reason why anybody should be walking around Daniel Jacobs got robbed, bro. I had this fight 9 rounds to 3. Bo had it 8-4. A lot of people had it 7-5, which I thought that shit was too close. I saw Juan Manuel Marquez said he had Jacobs winning 115-113. Marquez need to get some glasses. You had Demetrius Andrade saying Canelo, or at least Daniel Jacobs, did enough to win the fight. That nigga need to get some glasses. Demetrius Andrade is just talking from an adversary point of view. You know what I'm saying?
Andrade and Jacobs are friends. They're cool.
Well, then that makes everything, that puts everything in perspective. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And to me, from the past, Juan Manuel Marquez was not a fan of Canelo Alvarez. Remember in the past, he used to talk about how Canelo Alvarez was like a weight bully. He used to talk about that a lot in the past. So Marquez is not a fan of Canelo. That's out there. So that's probably why he's saying that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, man, but back on that pound for pound shit, as we ran through Daniel Jacobs's resume, that tells you right there that he himself is not enough of a fighter in terms of resume wise to catapult Canelo above guys that are undisputed champions, motherfuckers that are 3 division champions and lineal champions in their current division. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers that have been undisputed and lineal champion. You see what I'm saying? It's not enough to catapult him over those guys. Now, like what Bo said, if he were to go up, and I'll just lump the one of the topics we got that we're supposed to do a little bit later in the show. Fuck it, I'll lump it into this one. If he were to move up, well, let me say this. If he were to stay at 160, become undisputed, defeat Demetrius Andrade, become undisputed, then he most definitely has a case, you know what I'm saying, to be number 1, right? Because you've got 3 undisputed champions now. Canelo, Oleksandr Usyk, and Terence Crawford. You definitely got to put those 3, you know what I'm saying, in the top 4. Most definitely, right? But then if he moves up and fights Callum Smith, who has actually said, hey, I'm ready to fight this motherfucker in the fall. I'll fight him next, right? If he were to defeat Callum Smith at 168, become the WBA super champion after becoming undisputed, because I think that fight is still going to be there, even if he beats if he fought Demetrius Andrade first. That fight is still going to be there. Listen, Canelo Alvarez is that nigga in boxing. He is the cash cow. He can point out anybody and say, I want to fight you. They're going to accept the fight. Why? Because money's involved, right? So he could say, hey, Callum, hold up, baby. I'll fuck with you a little bit. Let me get this undisputed strap. As soon as I beat that nigga, I might, fight John Ryder, give him a little shot, whoop his ass. Then I might talk to you, summer 2020. I guarantee you, Callum Smith be like, bet, I'll be waiting. So if he's able to do all of these things, right, and he's successful, he wins everything that he tries from this point on, undisputed, Callum Smith, WBA super champion at 168, definitely pound for pound number one. Definitely. Even if he just becomes undisputed, I won't get mad if somebody says he's pound for pound number one. But right now, just beating Daniel Jacobs, all that does for me is solidify his spot at number 4. I still have him behind Usyk, Loma, and Terence Crawford, man.
Man, my man Hans Camilla. I don't know how you pronounce that name, but that's Lloyd Zoe.
Yeah, I know. I shouted him out.
That's Lloyd Zoe. He got his pound for pound list: Loma number 1, Crawford number 2, Usyk number 3, Anoye number 4. A lot of cats don't know about Anoye, so they gonna look at that and say, huh? They don't know about that Anoye.
My man Prophet HD said, "Yo, Hans Camille, your list is wild."
Prophet been clowning though, man. Prophet been fucking coming. This motherfucker been clowning. I've been laughing at him the whole time. This dude is talking about, what did he say, man? He said Ryan Garcia pound for pound number 1.
I'm gonna say this, man. That list isn't that bad, actually. I don't have Loma number 1, but he is in the top 3. Crawford number 2, right? Usyk number 3. Those 3 right there, no problem with that. Noye, I have him behind Canelo just because of what Noye has been doing recently. Jamie McDonald, Juan Carlos Payano. That's not. He's kind of just solidified himself in the top 5, but he needs to do a little bit more. He wins the WBSS tournament, right? He beats Emmanuel Rodriguez. Then that will basically solidify his accolade of winning titles in 3 divisions. Because right now he has a WBA regular title at bantamweight, right? He beat Jamie McDonald. That's just the regular title. So we got to keep it. Me personally, I think it's a title, but the narrative in boxing right now, everybody's saying if you're the regular champion, you're not really the champion. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick with that narrative. So with him having the regular title, he still hasn't gotten 3 titles in 3 divisions, right? But if he beats Emmanuel Rodriguez, that will give him that accolade. Then he goes up to the finals, and then he's going to fight for unified status, and he's going to destroy Nonito Donaire in the finals. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he'd be a unified champion at bantamweight. He would have had titles in 2 different weight classes before that. He would go back over Canelo if Canelo's not doing shit at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with that list, but nah, man, Daniel Jacobs, man, no. The whole resume situation thing, like we said, dog, the guys that he fought, yes, those are good names on his resume, but he fought them at times where they were not at their best. Straight up and down 100%, dog.
Leon Barnett, what big names Loma beat? You mean outside of the fact that he did beat Nicholas Waters, he did beat Rigon Diaz. I don't want to hear about the layoffs and the, hey, that ain't Loma responsibility to make sure niggas in the gym staying ready.
Exactly.
So you got Nicholas Walters, you got Rigo, you got Jorge Linares, Gary Russell Jr. So
well, what are we talking about here? And also, listen, on top of those big names, Loma's a 3-division champion, and he's lineal champion in the last division he became a unified champion in. You know what I'm saying? That's enough right there. Nah, they're not. Really? So Gary Russell's a bum? Gary Russell's a bum? Nicholas Walters was a bum at the time that he beat him? And Rigon Diaz was a bum at the time that Loma beat him? Rigon Diaz was the boogeyman in the sport. What are you talking about?
122 pounds. He was a
what are you talking about?
Matter of fact, you know how many motherfuckers ran from 122 to 126 to get away from him?
Yeah, my man Hieroglyphic said Loma needs to fight Tank or Teofimo. Hey, he's trying to fight Tank.
He beat him trying to fight Tank. He was at 130, so I don't want to hear that Tank.
Yeah, Tank don't want that fucking smoke. You know what I'm saying, Leon? Yeah, I'm about to drop your ass, bro. Look, Leon said, yeah, they all bums. Hey, man, go watch boxing, man. That's all I can say to you, brother. Yeah. Go watch boxing,
Rigo
man.
Moved up. That's Rigo. Rigo wanted to fight, dog. Rigo was fucking with him, going on Instagram and all that shit. Rigo was fucking. He wasn't even thinking about fucking Rigo. So
yeah, the problem.
Man, come on, man, stop.
The problem with that is this. Man, Guillermo Rigon Diaz called for the fight. Loma was not asking Rigo to come to 130. Rigo was asking Loma for that fight all over social media. All right. So at that point in time, if we're supposed to say, oh man, Loma basically shouldn't get credit for that win, you know what I'm saying? Because Rigo moved up, then why do we just forget that Rigo was the one calling for that fight? Loma was telling people, I don't want to fight this motherfucker. I'll beat him easily. He was telling everybody. He warned everybody.
Hey, Prodigy, stop, man. Listen, Leon Barnett, you got your 5 minutes of fame, man. Next topic.
No, I'm not going to the next topic. Listen. Vasyl Lomachenko told everybody, I don't want to fight this guy. You know what I'm saying? So why are we not giving him credit for that? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Oscar Marquez. Walters was considered the boogeyman at the time Loma beat him. He was one of the boogeymen. Not the, but one of.
He was.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Loma's beating guys who were actually winning at the time that this motherfucker fought them. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, you talking about, Leon Burnett talking about nobody knows these dudes. Why is that Loma's fault? These guys are top fighters in their divisions. If you don't know who the fuck they are, that's your problem. Nigga, get your boxing knowledge up. Plain and simple. If you can't be in the discussion, then get the fuck out of it because you don't know boxing. That's plain and simple.
Well, hold on. If don't nobody know him, then how can you call them bums?
Man, listen, man. At the end of the day,
call them bums.
At the end of the day, if you don't know boxing, get the fuck out of the conversation. Plain and simple, man. Plain and simple.
Oh, come on, dog.
So stupid, man.
What is their record, God? Gary Russell was undefeated. Rigo was undefeated. Walters was undefeated.
Done deal, bro.
All right, man. Stick a fork in that nigga, man. Oh my God.
Done deal, bro. Done deal, bro. I don't like dumb. I hate dumb motherfuckers, man. Done deal, bro. Done deal, bro. Don't come on here with no dumb shit, man. If you're trying to learn, that's good, but don't come on here with no dumb shit, man.
Well, I thought that nigga got his 5 minutes of fame. Nigga got his. It was horrible.
Yeah. Word up. JMC said Loma lost and didn't avenge it. I agree with that.
Oh no, but you know what though? To a certain degree, I agree with that, but that ain't Loma's fault because at one point they had offered that motherfucker $700K to fight Loma. Yeah, and, Orlando Salido, they had offered him like $700K at one point in time to fight Loma, and that would have been his highest purse ever, and he turned that down. So like Salido did the Marquez thing, which is not I didn't beat you. Forget that. That's what Marquez did.
At the end of the day, what Loma has done, we're talking a 3-division champion in 12 fights. Now, the only other fighter to do that is Kosei Tanaka, who's another guy nobody knows. I guess Leon Burnett would say, well, nobody knows him either, man. You know what I'm saying? He's going to say some stupid shit like that, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, what he has done is something that no other fighter has done except Kosei Tanaka, which he did it after him. You know what I'm saying? He obliterated Jeff Finnick's record of the amount of fights it took to become a 3-division champion. He obliterated. I think it was 20 fights. Second was Oscar De La Hoya at like 22. He obliterated that shit. Mm-hmm. And he was fighting dudes that could actually fight. They weren't bums. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So at the end of the day, man, you got to give him credit for that type of shit, man, whether he lost to Orlando Salido or not. My man Prophet HD said he was going too far, not knowing what he was talking about. But in my book, Loma is not top 3 pound for pound because of how he moves, and that's fine. I don't have no problem with that. Listen, pound for pound is subjective.
It's extremely. But don't tell me how much we don't belong there because you don't know his record or know the guys that he didn't beat to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
For a long time, I was saying Loma's not top 3 pound for pound. For a long time, I had Noye over him. Mm-hmm. But after he moved up to 135 and defeated Jorge Linares and became the lineal champion, and then he beat Jose Pedraza and became a unified champion along with being lineal, on top of being a champion in 3 divisions, you got to put him in the top 3 after that. You have to.
He became lineal? I thought he became lineal after being Jorge. Did you say Jose Pedraza or Jorge Linares?
Linares.
Okay.
Linares was the lineal champion. When he beat him, he became the WBA super and lineal champion at lightweight. Then he beat Jose Pedraza and he became a unified champion at lightweight. That's how it worked out. So you got to give him top 3, at least top 4 after doing some shit like that. And only, 13 fights? Goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Shit. And people have a knock on him losing to Orlando Salido, but he took on Orlando Salido in like his 3rd professional fight, 2nd professional fight, whichever one it was. I mean, a lot of motherfuckers not gonna take on a guy like Orlando Salido that early in their career. So come on, guys, y'all gotta. A lot of people be shitting on Lomachenko, man. And listen, man, I'm down the middle. I have a video where I'm comparing Lomachenko and Inoue. And really, what I'm trying to tell people is Inoue is a guy that you can't just, forget about if you're giving Lomachenko a lot of praise. But at the same time, since that video, Lomachenko has actually moved up and become a lineal champion of another division. When I made that video, he hadn't moved to lightweight yet. You know what I'm saying? So people got to stop hating on Lomachenko just because he had one loss that he didn't avenge. What he's done since then has been excellent work, man, that you got to reward, dog. Straight up and down.
And let me say one more time, and it's not, listen, I'm not just like this with Lomachenko. I'm like this with any fighter. If a guy signs the contract to fight, I don't want to hear shit about training. I don't want to hear shit about how long he said. I don't want to hear shit about that because it's not the other fighters. But I get on Sugar Ray, Aaron Pryor, Duncan Leonard. Shout out to Mike, pound for pound boxing. Shout out to Mike. I get on Sugar Ray, Aaron Pryor, Duncan Leonard. But it's not Leonard's fault that after beating him, motherfucking Roberto Duran blew up to damn near 200 pounds. That's not Leonard's fault. Okay, Leonard ain't got nothing to do with that. That's your job to stay ready and stay in shape. So I don't blame fighters. Once you sign that contract, man, at the end of the day, man, you got the right to say no. Once you sign that fucking contract, I don't want to hear no excuses about why something didn't go your way.
Yeah, absolutely. My man came back and said, how can you talk about how belts don't make you great or being a champ doesn't make you great, but talk about Loma in 3 divisions holding belts, but he took easy routes to them. We never said that. So I don't know who you're referring to. We've never said that belts don't make you great. I've never said that. Shit, if you're an undisputed champion, you have achieved the top accolade in boxing. And that's holding all 4 belts. I've never said that, bro. All right, let's see. My man Hieroglyphic said Mikey Garcia can beat Loma. Yeah, but that motherfucker going to 147.
I don't know if he can. I don't know, man. I got to see how Mikey.
Even if.
Yeah, after that beating by Earl Spence, man, I got to see what Mikey mental state is, man.
He's going to 140, 147. That fight's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. He already said
it's not gonna happen. Yeah. Let's see what Lobo Champ said, and then we're gonna go to the next one. Not every knockdown is because of a weak chin. Not every KO is because of a weak chin. I think he's referring to somebody saying Lomachenko's chin is weak. I did see that earlier. Yeah, his chin was questionable.
Knock him down.
You guys got to understand. Lomachenko is a small 135. Yes, he did campaign at 132 in the amateurs, but typically in the amateurs, man, you're going to campaign in a weight that you're bigger than. That happens a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like Andre Ward campaigned at light heavyweight, and then he came into the pros and went to 168. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times in the amateurs, you're going to campaign at a weight that's higher than what you would typically campaign at as a professional. All right. So he started off at 126 and went all the way up to 135, which is more than 132. He's actually small for 135. All right. His best weight is 130. So with that being said, what he's accomplished at 135, or at least being hit by guys at 135, that's why he's getting knocked down, or that's why he's getting hurt, or that's why you see him getting marked up against Jose Petraza. These guys are much bigger than him. You know what I'm saying? Prophet HD said, I just said it about Jacobs. No, I didn't. I just said that with Daniel Jacobs' resume in general, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
No, I think he's referring to when you was talking about the WBA regular title.
Yeah, I'm talking about Daniel Jacobs is only because people are basically saying he beat Daniel Jacobs, right? And I'm basically saying the only way that you could give Daniel Jacobs any type of accolade, or at least being some type of a major accolade on somebody's record, is because he's the IBF champion. That's that's basically what I'm saying. But I was saying, in contrast to that, having the IBF belt, it was vacant, and he beat Sergey Devryanchenko, a guy nobody really knew, a guy that people perceived was going to be a somebody, right? But at the end of the day, if you watch the goddamn fight, he was a nobody. And I was telling cats this shit before the fight happened. I said Daniel Jacobs is going to beat Sergey Devryanchenko with no problems. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know how you took it the other way, but that's what I'm saying.
And then he was also saying, cats was saying that when it came to the WBA regular title, they were saying that's not really a title.
Right. And I'm taking that away.
Right. So you can't count that, because they were saying it about who they trying to say that about.
They said it about Manny Pacquiao, right?
Golovkin.
Yeah, they said it about Golovkin. So, and it's just an overall narrative. If you go talk to a lot of cats about the WBA title, people are not going to consider you a champion if you're a WBA regular champion. Like, remember on the conference call, the top ranked conference call with Terence Crawford and Amir Khan. Terence Crawford said it on that call, I believe. He said that I don't consider Manny Pacquiao a real champion. He's only the WBA regular champion. You see what I'm saying? So that is the narrative in boxing right now. Me personally, I still consider it a championship belt. That's the WBA's fault that they didn't consolidate their belts. So as fans and as media, whatever position you are in boxing, we should be considering that as a fucking belt. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going by the narrative that a lot of people are running with. It's not a belt. It's not a major belt. So if we got to take that away, then the only belt that Daniel Jacobs had was the IBF title. But he got it from a vacant fight with a guy that nobody knew. That's all I'm saying. So Hans said, I got a question. Out of the new crop of top-ranked boxers, who got the brightest future? Oh, man, that's a good one, man.
That's a very good one. They just signed Sullivan Barrera, too.
Yeah, they did. They just signed Sullivan Barrera.
That's a good one because they just signed some very good top prospects. I think right now for me, I have the brightest future. You'd have to go with the top guy, right? The top guy that they kind of pushing right now, which is Teofimo Lopez. But they got some other cats in that crop, man, that got the potential to be very, very good. Top Rank has done some very good scouting with some very good scouting reports. Shakur Stevenson is another one. Shakur Stevenson probably, in my honest opinion, probably will have a higher ceiling than Teofimo Lopez, only because of the division that he's in. Lopez is in a really tough division up there with he got Devin Haney to contend with. He's gonna have Richard Comey to contend with, Lomachenko to contend with. So, but man, for me, right now I would go with Teofimo Lopez. But I mean, if the scouting report that Top Rank does for these young fighters is just fucking incredible.
Oscar Marquine, hey bro, rewind this shit about 15 minutes. I just went over Daniel Jacobs' resume since him losing to Dmitry Perov. His resume is very weak. Very weak. There's about 9 guys whose names you will not even recognize. Very weak, bro. He said Jacobs is not overrated, man, by resume, strength of resume alone. Yeah, rewind this bitch about 15 minutes. You're going to change that thought process.
Well, shit, we didn't spend 42 minutes on this one topic.
Yeah, word up, word up. All right, man, what you got for me next, bro?
All right, man. So, Deontay WIlder is out there in these streets.
In these streets!
Man, Deontay WIlder is on record as saying that, my team has some things in place for me, so I'm just going to let what my team got in place for me play out. And even if Joshua then was to give me everything I wanted, which is the 50-50 split, I wouldn't take the fight right now. Dog. Now, I will admit this. Deontay did say something that I agree with when he said, well, y'all say y'all weren't going to fight me to 2020, so don't cry now. And I agree with him. That, that was the narrative. And there was some shucking and jiving on Eddie Hearn's side when he said, well, the WBA is telling me to make this fight. I think it was the WBA or WBO. One of them was telling him to make that fight with Povetkin. I forget who that was. He said, they told me I got 24 hours to make this fight with Povetkin, so I can't do this no more.
WIlder?
No, Eddie Hearn, when he said the WBO or WBA told him he had 24 hours to make that fucking fight.
Oh, you're talking about Joshua. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember which one it was.
But he said that, and then he says, well, I'm not making this Wilder and them taking too long, but I got 24 hours. And, of course, the fight didn't get announced 2 motherfucking weeks later. They turned down, and Anthony Joshua himself openly admitted on the Rocky Fielding versus Canelo fight, he said the reason why he turned down the $50 million because he wanted to fight in the UK. He said this openly, okay? Right? So, he asked $50 million to get turned it down. But Deontay WIlder coming out and saying this, dog, this is bad on top of fucking bad. It's like, it's one of them things where it's like, dog, nobody, everybody pretty much already knew it wasn't going to happen in 2020. Your management team came out and said that, the lineup for you was Brazzelli, Adam Kalnaki, and motherfucking Luis Ortiz. Hence why Luis Ortiz turned down this motherfucking, his team fucked him up about, which to this day he need to fire somebody, about this fight with Anthony motherfucking Joshua. So we already knew that and known that. But for you to come out and say that potentially making the biggest amount of money for all this barking and huffing and puffing you did about wanting Joshua, That's all we heard you do. For you to come out and say, even if they give me everything I wanted, I'm gonna say fuck it. You already got motherfuckers feeling like you said that when you didn't take the motherfucking DAZN offer. You got motherfuckers feeling like that. Like you just say, man, fuck this. And you didn't take the DAZN offer, right? This is undefendable. And this was, I'm sorry, man. This was stupid. You don't come out, you don't say nothing like that. If they offer me everything I want, I'm gonna say fuck it because my team got shit in place and y'all had already told me fight won't happen in 2020 anyway. What?
Bro, I've already said numerous times that Wilder's mouth gets him in trouble. Listen, man, y'all gotta understand something. Wilder just learned how to become a villain. You know what I'm saying? Before, Wilder was this nice guy that was fighting. His daughters had that medical condition. I can't remember what it is, but he was this nice guy he's in the ring and he's fighting the good fight because of his daughter's medical condition. You know, this is before he had the weave in his hair. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is before that. You know what I mean? When nigga had the extensions, he had short hair, had a nice clean cut fade. You know, nice guy, smiling in all his pictures. Then all of a sudden, he has to become the villain because he realized, damn, the only way I'm going to get anywhere to be able to market myself the way that I want to be or be, you know, the type of fighter I want to be, as popular as I want to be, is I got to take on that villain role. I got to follow the Floyd Money Mayweather, you know, blueprint to be able to get people out there to love me and hate me, right? Whether it's hate or love, it's still publicity, and it's a good one, right? And that's what he did. He changed into that. Now he's changed into that. You got the nigga out there saying these corny ass rhymes and shit. You got him out there sticking his foot in his mouth. Got him out there with these hashtags till this day. And he's using the hashtag when it doesn't even need to be used in situations. This nigga be like, yeah, bro, shit, I just made me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Hashtag to this day. Wait, what? That don't even go with it, dog. You don't use it. you don't use it for that, bro. That doesn't make any. All right, whatever. Fuck it. That's your shit, bro. Till this day. You know what I'm saying? You got the nigga wearing dresses and shit, tight ass pants, skirts and shit, plaid and all this. You get where I'm going, right? That's what Deontay Wilder has become now, right? So he sticks his foot in his mouth a lot. You know, talking about he wants a body, he want to kill niggas and shit. Yes, Mike Tyson said it, but Mike Tyson was a villain from the start. Wilder was never a villain at one point. You know what I'm saying? That's why it made him look worse than Mike Tyson did. People actually expected Mike Tyson. This nigga went to prison. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was a 13-year-old problem child. Yeah. Teddy Atlas shooting guns past his ear. And shit.
Mike Tyson already had that shit back and had that aura behind him, dog. You know, Wilder didn't have that. He just an old basketball player that just turned into boxing. He's fighting for his daughter. That's why it's worse on him to say he want to kill niggas. You know what I'm saying? So he sticks his foot in his mouth consistently, bro. And it makes it hard for people to back him. Now, we don't back any one fighter. We back the sport. That's why it's easy for us to get in anybody's ass, no homo. You know what I'm saying? So the problem is this. Deontay Wilder is basically corroborating what his manager had previously said. That's what he did. They basically said, yo, we're not even looking at Anthony Joshua right now. I don't remember which manager it was. It might have been JD's or Shelly Finkel. I can't remember which one it was. But he basically said, we're not looking at Anthony Joshua right now. You know, basically, we got Dominic Brazil, a rematch of Luis Ortiz, and Adam Kalnaki. We're not even looking at Anthony Joshua. And Wilder comes out and corroborates that, yeah, fuck Anthony Joshua, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, if the nigga give me 50-50, I don't even give a fuck. The problem is, bro, people don't care what your manager says. People don't care what you think you got on your plate for the rest of 2019. I say this time and time again, bro. When you talk to the media, you can't make yourself look a certain way, bro. You can't. I'll go back to Daniel Jacobs. Back when people were asking him if he was going to fight Golovkin. This is after Golovkin beat Dominic Wade, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
And people were asking Daniel Jacobs, hey, man, you know, you that next guy, man. You know, you going to fight Golovkin? The motherfucker said, basically, I want $15 trillion. He didn't say that, but he, in a nutshell, that's what the fuck he said, right? He wanted the right kind of money to fight Gennady Golovkin. Then they asked him, hey, bro, you know, where do you rank yourself in the division? This motherfucker willingly said, I'm the number 2 man. Golovkin's number 1. What? As a fighter, you don't tell the media you're behind another fighter in your fucking division. That was the worst media interview I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? One of the worst, right? This is going up there with one of those. You never say, I don't care if it's 50-50. I'm still not fighting him. Because at that point in time, that statement is what resonates with everybody. They're going to be like, this nigga just said he ain't going to fight him for 50-50. They don't care about what your manager said previously about you having a full plate. They don't care about you saying that you had a full plate previously. Only thing they're going to resonate with is this nigga said if they offered him 50-50, he would not take the fight. So what is that going to equate to? I've already seen it a couple of times in this chat. A duck.
Mm-hmm.
Now, am I going to support Deontay WIlder? Nope. Go ahead and say what y'all want. That's his fault. I'm not going to support another man for making himself look bad. What the fuck I do that for? You know what I'm saying? If y'all think it's a duck, go ahead. At the end of the day, that's why I say some of these motherfuckers need PR people. You know what I'm saying? They need niggas to talk for them sometimes. In certain situations, they need their advisors to come out and say, hey, bro, don't say that. Don't say this or don't say that. You know, it's very simple for me, bro. If I were advising someone, if I were a fighter, right? If I would have actually came out of the amateurs and went professional, it's easy for me to be like, I'll fight any goddamn body any day of the motherfucking week and always talk like that, no matter what. It's simple because it's marketing. And at the end of the day, you want people to follow you or you want people to hate you then follow you. Because that's what happens, right?
Well,
hold on. Cats either gonna love you and follow you, or cats either gonna hate you and follow you. At the end of the day, that's what the fuck you want. What were you gonna say?
Now, I was just gonna say the problem with the statement is many people felt he didn't deserve a 50-50 split anyway to begin with, right?
Right.
Okay. A lot of people were saying you don't deserve a 50-50 split. He's asking too much for it. You only got one goddamn belt. Who you think you are, right? You know what I'm saying? So, and then furthermore, Deontay also said that Anthony Joshua is running out of options. No, he's not. He got 3 fucking belts with a lot of options. With them 3 belts, you got 1. But the problem with his statement is you have been stomping this pavement, okay, about wanting Joshua. You'll do anything to get Joshua. Like you was telling Cats, I don't care. I just want this. This is what you stomped the pavement for. And despite Cats saying you didn't deserve the 50-50 split, despite Cats saying they felt you lost to Tyson Fury, right? And you got to draw. When you come out and you say this, right? Now, it's not something that we didn't already know, but you have to remember to those that hate him and for those that now want to knock at Wilder and his followers for jumping on Anthony Joshua for turning down 50 million. Now the argument is, well, y'all can't say shit to us because this motherfucker just said even we give him 50-50, he said fuck it, and he turned down the fucking DAZN $100 million contract. So for him to come out and say this, it's a bad look from a perception of, yo, dog, because right now, Joshua and his team, you know, they being quiet, they got other things going on. Okay. Right. So, yo, dog, you're coming out basically saying right now in fucking May that from now into December, if they offer you what you asked for that we feel you don't get, you're gonna say you like fuck it. That's a bad look, man. That's bad look to publicly say that. That's the problem. If the public is he publicly now, if one of his team said it, okay, fine, because that's what a team does. But he shouldn't have been the motherfucker to say it. That's the point that we're trying to make. Wilder shouldn't have said it. His team could have said it. Hey man, you know what? Even if they offered it, like because matter of fact, Shelly Finkel even said that. I'm not in the Anthony Joshua business. Fuck Eddie Hearn. I'm not in that business. Okay, that's Finkel. He can say that. But you as a fighter should never say that.
Yep. You're as a fighter. I mean, this is why you hire these motherfuckers in the first place, right, Bo?
That's true.
That's what you hire them for. As a fighter, when they come to you, you say, yeah, I'll fight that nigga right now. Yeah, nigga, I'll fight the nigga right now. You know what I'm saying? Everything is yes, except if somebody asks you, would you get some head? You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing you should be saying no to as a fighter.
Exactly, Michael. That's my point, Michael. Is this the blame now is coming on Wilder and so motherfucker, you know what? Michael Benson made this motherfucking post saying, yo, who's to blame for the Wilder Joshua fight not happening. 70% of niggas said Deontay Wilder. You know why? They based it off of this comment.
Yeah.
They based it off because prior to that, when you asked, it was probably even or Joshua and them team probably tipped the scales a little bit. Now it's 70% him. Why? Because of this comment. Because boxing is about what have you done and what have you said lately. That's the last thing they're gonna climb up to is this right here.
I mean, they're gonna scrutinize everything you say, and the one damning statement. I mean, you could like this podcast, nigga. They could be talking as long as we are, 54 minutes in, but fans are going to resonate, or at least let me say this: the most damning statement you make is what's going to resonate the most with the fans.
Exactly.
They can listen to the whole 54-minute conversation. The most damning thing you said is what they're gonna take away from that.
And when you got more that hate you than like you, you definitely don't want to give them niggas ammo.
And that's the problem, Too Tough. They were blaming Wilder already. Now they really like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? When you already got niggas blaming you, dog, why would you put more of the heat on you? Nigga, if I'm on fire, nigga, why would I pour gasoline on myself? Stupid, dog. Shay Dub said it's a stunt. Aha. Absolutely. That's what I absolutely think it is. But the problem is we're tired of fucking playing with these guys, man. This ain't the WWE. This is boxing, nigga. This ain't fake punching and fake body slams and shit and fake groin kicks, nigga. This is real. This is real life, nigga. We really fighting in this sport. So we want real life negotiations, nigga. We don't want no WWE bullshit. And this is what both of these motherfuckers have been on this whole year, last year, the year before that. I was telling y'all that the original negotiations was a stunt. Because when that big bad motherfucker Andre Rodbinsky from Russia came out in one interview, Bo, the nigga had one interview. That's some real boss shit right there, by the way. That nigga had one interview, bro. And that nigga said, no. Anthony Joshua fights Oleksandr Povetkin next. And then the nigga went and probably fucked about 15 Russian bitches right after that. You know what I'm saying? He said that shit in March, I believe, of 2017. I believe, if I'm not fucking, my dates might be fucked up, but it was in the middle of the negotiations. I know the negotiations were like April of 2017 until September when they found out they were going to be fighting Povetkin. The nigga said it in March, bro. You know what I'm saying? One interview. And I told cats from then, I said, everything you see at this point, man, is bullshit. Joshua's fighting Povetkin. What happened? Same thing could be going on right now. You know what I'm saying? A stunt that's being put out there just to try to keep you fans from, teetering on one side and teetering to the next. All it does is create intrigue, right? But at the end of the day, if it's not a stunt, right, this is the dumb move by Wilder, and it's a gamble. Because as Too Tough said, there was a lot of people already blaming him. But I'll say there were a lot of people already blaming Anthony Joshua as well. And whatever blame was on Anthony Joshua, you just shifted that shit, bro. Mm-hmm. You just shifted that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man. And then if you look at Deontay Wilder, a lot of people talking about Deontay Wilder's resume as shit. It is. Biggest win on Deontay Wilder's resume, the top two, Luis Ortiz, Bermane Stiverne.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. And the reason why it's Bermane Stiverne is because that's the way he got the WBC title in the first place, was Bermane Stiverne, right? Tyson Fury ain't a win, so that ain't a win on his resume.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, his resume is shit. And the thing is, you have one title. One. You're not anybody anybody's chasing, nigga. The only motherfucker that's chasing you right now is Dillian White. That's it. And the reason why Dillian White is chasing you is because he's been the fucking mandatory for 2 years, or at least he's been the number one contender and a silver champion for almost 2 years. That's why he's chasing you. Listen, Anthony Joshua has 3 belts. 1, 2, 3. That means he has the opportunity to fight 3 mandatory challengers. That means he has an opportunity to fight 45 different fighters in any given time of the year. And when I say 45, it's because the top 15 ranked opponents in each one of those sanctioning bodies will get sanctioned to fight Anthony Joshua. So you got 45 fucking opponents at any given time of the year that he could choose from, and 3 mandatories. Deontay WIlder has 1 mandatory and 15 fighters. He don't have to chase Wilder for nothing. Now, if he wants to be undisputed, yeah, right? But at the end of the day, if it's going to be a big hassle the way it's been, he don't have to do nothing. Just keep fighting the people he's fighting. Keep bolstering his legacy. Keep making more money than Deontay WIlder. That's what's going to happen. At the end of the day, when you talk about somebody chasing somebody, Wilder has to seek Joshua. That's what it is, bro.
Hey, shoot, my man Too Tough said ESPN and DAZN seems to be chasing him. No, we're talking about fighters chasing him. And let me say something, because I did defend him about that DAZN move. I said, listen, man, I understand him not wanting to go over there, because then he would be 3rd, maybe even 4th fiddle at DAZN over under Joshua, Canelo, and maybe even GGG. And Stan would show that I equated this to a job, right? You got this job. You got all these perks of this job you get to do, work from motherfucking home, take days off when you want to. Hell, sometimes you no pay. Whatever the perks are, you got these perks. The only problem is they you know, the money. They paid you more. You get this job that's offering you $20 more than what you're making. None of the perks you got. But then your job is like, you know what, we can't meet that 20, but we give you 10. So you be like, well, fuck it. I don't want to leave and give up my perks. So fuck it, I'm gonna stay here, take this extra 10. So I feel him on that. He got moves he can make. He's the face of boxing for Showtime now. So I get that move. But this statement right here is what's bad, because it definitely makes it look like, well, then you was being false all this time with what you said, and it gives ammo to those that hate him. Now, as far as ESPN and DAZN chasing him, they were more or less chasing the money of what would come along when they make a fight with Fury or and motherfucking Anthony Joshua. That's more what they were chasing. It wasn't that they was chasing Wilder. They like, listen, Wilder just did a pay-per-view with Fury that did 300K, almost 400K. We didn't see that shit happening. So guess what? We want Wilder. So if he gets Anthony Joshua or maybe rematch Tyson Fury, it's gonna make even more money. Oh, we want Wilder, so you know we can make other fights with him, making money until we make this big fight. It wasn't it was more or less them chasing them, which all these networks do, dog. When they sign you, they chasing that money that they think you're gonna bring.
Exactly.
But there are no fighters chasing Wilder, with the exception of Dylan White. Tyson Fury signed with ESPN. He probably got his highest motherfucking payday and went along with what the fuck ESPN told him. Yeah, I'm gonna fight some Adam motherfucker that's ranked number 2.
Tom Schwartz.
Yeah.
So this is the funny thing, man. Listen, and let me speak in regards to that. You know, it's all about the money. Bo already touched it. It's all about the money, man. Deontay WIlder is a champion in the division, the only other champion in the division. At the end of the day, it helps Wilder more than it helps these other networks for him to sign with them. Now, my position is I don't give a fuck where he goes. I don't care if he stays a free agent. I don't care if he goes to ESPN or DAZN. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on his advisory team. I don't care what the fuck the nigga does, right? Now, if you ask me for my opinion, I would have said, shit, I probably would have took the DAZN deal, because that probably would have guaranteed me my fight with Anthony Joshua. And then they were saying it was going to be a rematch.
I said, my man Lloyd, I said, man, I still felt like he should have. Matter of fact, 2K, you remember the show when I said, man, if he don't take the zones, I am going to be disappointed.
Well, the thing is, they said, at first I was under the impression that Anthony Joshua wasn't guaranteed. But then after reading and finding out a little bit more information on the inside, it was a guaranteed situation. And then they actually said there was going to be a rematch clause in the contract. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. He probably should have took the DAZN deal because of that right there. Now, to go into what Bo was saying about him being probably 4th fiddle, why do you think they offered him less money than they offered Vladimir Klitschko for him to have a comeback?
Exactly.
They offered a man who's coming off a loss to their number 1 guy, or number 2 guy anyway. A guy coming off a loss. I think he's out 2 years now? Vladimir Klitschko going on 2 years. 40 years old. They offer him more money than Wilder. It's because they don't give a fuck about Wilder. That was just incentive, like, yeah, we'll get him on DAZN. We'll make a big-ass heavyweight undisputed championship clash, and we'll just take all the money. After that, we don't care where Wilder goes. If he loses, we don't give a fuck where he goes. That's why they didn't give him as much money. They don't give a fuck about him. They got so many options for Anthony Joshua, man. So Wilder has to seek Joshua. Now, I'm not saying Joshua won't seek Wilder, because Joshua's already said he wants to be undisputed. So he may go out there and be like, man, look, let me, maybe give up a little bit of my purse that I should be getting. Let me do this, let me do that, just so I could get this motherfucker to fight. He might do that. I don't know. I'm just saying he could do that, right? But when you look at this situation, right, and you got both fighters saying, I'm not seeking nobody. Well, you look at Wilder and be like, hey, bro, you need to go get them belts. You the nigga at the lower end of the stick right now, bro. You got the shortest straw, nigga. You need to go get them belts. That's how it is, bro. And that's why what he's saying is fucking ridiculous. And you know what, man? I think Tuta said early up in the chat, he said, how would you not support him, not watch his fights? He said, what would not supporting him look like? Not watch his fights, et cetera, et cetera. That's not what I'm talking about. When I talk about not supporting him, I'm saying I'm not going to speak up for him. I'm not going to sit here and defend Deontay Wilder's statements. I'm not.
Right.
Not doing that. I wouldn't do that any goddamn way. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we're down the middle on this fucking podcast. When you fuck up, we're going to get on your ass. If we need to praise you, we'll praise you. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to speak up for this man when he put fire onto himself. So that's his fault, man. We're going to go to the next one.
What you got for me, man? A lot of comments, man. We got people. We got 100 people commenting. Yo, y'all hit that like button. I see all y'all 100 people and then only 20 likes. You motherfuckers is crazy. Hit that goddamn like button.
Mikey Garcia is still looking at campaigning at 147, even though he got the shit beat out of him, bro. Man, oh man, oh man. Listen, there's some good fights at 147, though, bro. I'd like to see Mikey Garcia versus Danny Garcia. I'd like to see Mikey Garcia versus Keith Thurman. I'd like to see Mike Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I think Mikey Garcia has the best opportunities at 140, dog. Bowie's got to go to 140, man. If he stays at 147, let me say this. Think about it. From Mikey Garcia's perspective, there's already one motherfucker you can't beat at 147. There's already one motherfucker you can't beat. That beating was so bad and so one-sided that you'll never go back and look at Mikey Garcia and be like, man, he could beat Errol Spence one of these days. Nope. It's a situation where you look at it and be like, damn, Mikey, you just that guy you'll just never beat, bro. You won't ever beat him ever, no matter what. You could take as many PEDs as you want. Hell, you could have a PED cocktail Jarrell Miller was gonna take before fighting Anthony Joshua. You still wouldn't beat Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? You could take as many shots in the ass. It won't matter. You can't beat Errol Spence. So my thing is this. If you're campaigning in a division, hoping that one of the top guys somehow moves out of your division, you shouldn't be there, bro. You know what I'm saying? If he beats, let's say he beats a whole bunch of dudes in the division, right? Let's say, I don't know, hypothetically speaking, he becomes a unified champion there, right? And Errol Spence is still in that motherfucker, and he's the other unified champion. You got Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence holding all four of the belts, right? Distributed between those two fighters. Then everybody's going to be like, damn, well, in order to become undisputed, it's got to be Mikey and Errol. Everybody automatically going to say Mike Garcia loses that fight, dog. Automatic, right? Mike even knows he loses that fight. So my thing is campaign in a division where you believe you can beat a top motherfucker there. You know what I'm saying? And that's at 140, man. What do you think, man?
I think Mikey need to stay at 147 because it's safe. 140 because it's safe for him at 140. He takes too much of a beating at 147. Listen, after what I saw against Errol Spence, you go in there against Sean Porter. Sean Porter is way bigger than you. He'll maul you. He'll move you around. You can keep Earl off of you. Shit, you damn well ain't keeping Sean Porter off of you. Okay. Danny Garcia is another dude. Now maybe you stand somewhat of a chance with Danny, but shit, Danny been at 147 long enough, so Danny's probably better. Keith motherfucking Thurman with that pop and that power that he got, he's still a bigger dude than you. He can move you around. So I just think in Mikey's defense, he did say 147 is an option depending on who it is he looking to fight. But if the quest is to probably, Mikey, if the quest is to stay at that championship level and keep fighting for titles, then the only motherfuckers you can fight are the dudes holding belts, which is Sean Porter, Earl Spence. Well, you already fought Earl Spence. That's a no-go. Thurman and Terence Crawford. Okay. And I know goddamn well you did well, outside the fact you and Bob don't get along, but that hell, if you wouldn't fight Mikey, I don't see you fighting Crawford. I mean, if you wouldn't fight Loma, I don't see you fighting Crawford at all, period. Right. Now I said this, I wasn't surprised when Mikey dropped the belt because he had openly admitted saying that he just can't make 135 no more. And I said, man, when you start jumping weights like Mikey was doing, it's hard for your body. It's hard for you to get your body to go back down. That's why the best thing for me to happen to him was when he didn't take that fight with Cotto at 154. Because I said, man, once he go up there, that's it for him. That's it for him. This dude might not be able to fight back at 140. Doing some shit like that. That's it for him, right? So I'm not surprised. But my only problem with him at 140 is this. This is the problem. Is you're not going to be in no championship fights no time soon. Maurice Hooker and Jose Ramirez are scheduled to meet each other. They're in negotiations to talk, okay? Then, of course, you got the WBSS tournament going on. That's still going to be going on for a while. I feel like, and I'm not saying this is Mikey thinking, but this is what I hate because this is my perspective. I feel like if Mikey go to 140, it's going to be the whole Lucian Boutte thing doing the Super 6 of the super middleweight division. You're going to sit out, lick your chops, pick your teeth, and pick up the remaining bones of what's left.
But he accidentally picked up too big of a bone. Carl Froch whooped that ass, bro.
Yeah, you did. So I just feel like if you go to 140, dog, that's really what you're talking about, right? It's just, picking up the bones after everybody then pretty much did all the heavy lifting. Now, it's not to say Mikey ain't did no hell that he has. I'm just saying for me, from that perspective, Mikey's not as egregious as Lucian, but Lucian Boutte was in the division and said, fuck it. Okay. Mikey was like, listen, man, I'm finna go to that division, right? I'm just saying it gives that perspective, but it's better. Like he has a more opportunity to be successful at 140 than he does at 147. So if the quest is to get back into building, rebuilding your name, rebuilding your brand, getting back in that championship fights and them championship modes, you have a better chance at 140 than you do 147 because the only two guys I would worry about right now at 140 is Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor. Everybody else, I believe, is fair fucking game. Them the only two dudes I would worry about when it comes to Mikey. And that's only because I haven't seen enough from Mikey since the Earl Spence fight to tell me where that boy is mentally. Your body will always recover from a beating physically. It is your mental state that never fucking recovers. Mike Tyson after Douglas, well, after Robin Givens, actually, and Don King. But Mike Tyson, was never the same mentally from that Douglas shit situation. We've seen it with lots of fucking fighters mentally. When you fuck with it, and I've said on the show all the time, 2K, what do I always say? When a motherfucker started changing his mental thought process, that motherfucker is a step away from getting his ass whooped.
Right.
So I don't know where he is mentally. I have to see it, but he has a more chance of being successful at 140 than 147. And I think if you want to rebuild your name, because right now, Mikey is a very smart business person. He's putting himself in the best position possible to get the best fights with the best amount of money. And I'm not mad at Mikey for that. I ain't mad at him. I'm really not. Because this is boxing, dog. At the end of the day, when Mikey's out of the sport, nobody will give a fuck about Mikey. The cheers stop. The money stop coming in. Ain't nobody. If Mikey
the hoes stop fucking. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. The hoes stop throwing the pennies at him and motherfucking shit. You know what I'm saying? His Micah could be out late at night. His wife ain't gonna call him not one time. She ain't worried about it. Ain't nobody trying to fuck him no more.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, Mikey would come home and she'd be sitting up the couch, staring at him, shaking her leg. Now he come home, she sleep, knock the fuck out. Oh, don't bother me. I'm tired. All that old shit, right? But boxing is the sport that when you're out of this sport, if your money ain't right, ain't nobody doing no save the we got the G-Man right now. Ain't nobody sent money to help out the G-Man. What's that Puerto Rican cat name? Richard Comey. Ain't nobody sending money to help out.
Not Richard Coleman, Pritchard Cologne.
Pritchard Cologne. I'm sorry, Pritchard Cologne. Ain't nobody sending money to help out Pritchard Cologne, right? So I'm not mad at any of these fighters if they do moves that will enrich them for when they're out of the fucking sport. But, but for Mikey to look at 147, I think it's foolish because you just lost to Errol Spence Jr. Nobody's gonna believe after that performance that you can compete with anybody else at 147. So go to 140 because when you look at 140, we can make the argument, dog. At 140, you have a very good chance of running the tables there. Way better than you do at 147.
I mean, yeah, at 140, he has the opportunity to become undisputed champion. I mean, the only listen, I'm looking at the champions right now. I think Mikey Garcia beats the dog shit out of Jose Ramirez and Maurice Hooker. He beat the dog shit out of both of them guys. You know what I'm saying? I think the only trouble at 140 he would have is possibly Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis. You know what I'm saying? Regis Prograis is a fucking animal, dog. You know what I'm saying? I think Regis Prograis wins the WBSS tournament. I believe it's going to be him versus Josh Taylor after May. I think Josh Taylor fights Ivan Baranchyk, I think May 18th, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's going to beat Ivan Baranchyk. I think he's going to lose to Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis will be a unified champion at 140. He'll be the top dog. And then you got fucking, what's his name? As I just mentioned, Jose Ramirez and Maurice Hooker. Mikey Garcia could be any one of those guys. You see what I'm saying? But if we look at 147, we already know who he can't beat there. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's common sense there. He should campaign at 140 as a much better opportunity to be in the top motherfucker there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. My man, they still talking about Canelo and shit, bro. Let me read this shit real quick, man. Let me read what this man said. Chandler M. Canelo is pound for pound #1. Resume speaks for itself. Spence will get bodied. So would Crawford. I don't want to hear it. No, whatever. No one's on his level, and everyone forgets he's only 28. Actually, nobody forgets he's only 28. I actually went out on record on Facebook when we went live from Las Vegas. I basically said that the fact that he's accomplished what he's accomplished right now at 28 years old, if Golden Boy keeps pushing him in the right direction, you know, possibly he could become an undisputed champion in 2 divisions before he's 33, 34 years old. We could be talking about this motherfucker being one of the greatest Mexican fighters of all time. You know what I'm saying? He could possibly be the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. He's still young enough to be able to get that opportunity. But right now, you look at his resume, you're talking about resume, you need to look at who he fought and when he fought him. That shit matters, bro. Yeah, matter of fact, the way niggas is talking about Canelo, hey, Bo, I'm about to go out there right now, dog. My first 5 fights are going to be Shane Mosley, Zab Judah. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go find Jermaine Taylor ass somewhere, Bernard Hopkins, and Manny Pacquiao. I beat all 5 of them niggas. Y'all better put me #1 pound for pound because of my resume. You see what I'm saying? It don't fucking matter that these niggas old as shit. No, it don't matter. If I beat these niggas, they names. If I beat them, I better be pound for pound #1. That's what we talking about. It matters when you beat the guys, man. All right, man, Bo, what we got next, bro?
Hey, my man, Luis Ortiz. Everybody wave bye to Luis Ortiz. I mean, Luis Martinez. Everybody wave bye to Luis Martinez. I hope that nigga got a parachute. Hey, on your way down, man, pull that ripcord so you don't hit the ground too hard. Fuck out of here. On my channel talking about some boxing fake. I'm going to UFC. All right, well, go, nigga. Shit, bye. Fuck out of here. Fuck you think you talking to? What'd you say, man, about Canelo?
Nah, what you got next for me?
All right, man. Tevin Farmer, dog. Tevin Farmer is letting motherfuckers know that, hey, man, look, JoJo Diaz, you want some, but you know what you got to do? You got to earn your stripes, bro. But Miguel Berchelt, nigga, you can get it. Like Miguel Berchelt, you can get it. And also, I'm gonna say this, man. Tevin Farmer recently put out a tweet. Say, I tell y'all what, if Golden Boy feels so confident about that JoJo Diaz fight, this is what the fuck you do. Pay my mandatory some step aside motherfucking money. Then come to me with a big bag and I tighten his ass up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Dog, Tevin Farmer is out there doing it. But you know what, though? A lot of people is criticizing Tevin Farmer because he's saying, no, man, y'all got to earn y'all motherfucking stripes. You know, when I was out there trying to, get myself in a position, niggas giving me the ass to kiss. So guess what? I'm over here with the zone, winning championship, making money. Well, you know, you got to get your weight up before you come talking to me. And a lot of people criticize him, saying that he's not trying to take fights, the duck fight. No, he's not. Tevin Farmer is absolutely fucking correct. Okay, he's absolutely, because now that you're a champion, it has to be worth something to him now. It has to be some incentives in you know, in that shit now. Okay, you just can't walk up to me, hey champ, I want to fight you. What you got? Oh man, I got this motherfucking backyard upstairs closet. But man, get the fuck out of here, man. What the fuck? Don't do nothing for me. Get the fuck out of here. You gotta be coming to the table with the motherfucking greens, with the motherfucking stacks. You gotta be coming with a motherfucking promotion behind you, with a push behind you. You gotta be coming with something, nigga. You ain't coming with that. Get the fuck out of here. I'm on another level now. And I absolutely feel Tevin Farmer on that. On top of that, if he's telling these dudes like fucking Scott Quigg and JoJo Diaz and who was the other cat they called? Remember one more dude?
Ryan Garcia.
Who?
I know Ryan Garcia, Scott Quigg, JoJo Diaz. I can't remember anybody else.
Yeah, one more dude, because I wrote the article about it. But if he's telling all them dudes, get the fuck out of here, but he's looking at fighting champions, I don't have a problem with that. If he's telling these contenders, fuck out my face, work your way up the rankings, motherfucker, then holler at me or come to the table with something. But I'm looking to fight Miguel Berchelt. I'm looking to fight, the WBO champion. I'm looking to fight, Tank Davis. If that's what the fuck he's doing, man, I ain't goddamn problem with him telling them off with him giving them the ass to kiss. I have no problem with that.
Check this shit out, bro. I agree 100%. But I want to say something. I see a lot of cats in the chat. Yeah. You don't understand, Tevin Farmer should act like that. Man, fuck JoJo Diaz, nigga. He ain't done shit. I hope y'all had the same energy about Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez, because this is the same situation. Actually, that situation is worse. Loma's a unified champion. Tevin Farmer just has the IBF title. You know what I'm saying? Just like JoJo Diaz ain't done shit, Teofimo Lopez ain't done shit. All right? Now let's go to this right here. JoJo Diaz is a guy that fought for the WBC title at 126 and got his ass handed to him by Gary Russell Jr. Said, fuck it, I can't fight at 126. I'm going to 130. You know what I'm saying? Remember when he tried to sun Tevin Farmer? He said, yo, if you really want to fight, why don't you come on over to the zone and shit? I'm on the undercard for the Canelo fight. We could fight there. Tevin was like, hold up, bro. Who the fuck are you, man?
Sure did.
Yeah, you just some little nigga that fucking lost to Gary Russell Jr., bro. Who the fuck you think you is? You gonna come to my division and tell a champion where the fuck he gonna go? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Real talk right there, bro. I was on top of that shit. I was like, yeah, that's exactly how you talk to these little niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how you address these motherfuckers, man. Amen. Just because he's on the undercard of Canelo Jacobs don't mean you got any type of clout to be telling a champion in a division you just moved into what the fuck he gonna do. What we gonna say, bro?
I'm just saying, y'all, I'm loving the chat. We got old man fight going on. Old man fight. Too tough in Mike Wilson from Pound to Pound is throwing blows.
Hey, man.
Yo, get out the motherfucker. Hey, Too Tough, be careful, because Mike Wilson drinks them energy drinks, man, and he does them Pilates exercises, bro.
Yeah. Nah, but real talk though, man. Like it's definitely something that I agree with Tevin Farmer on, man. Just like I agree with Vasyl Lomachenko. You can't just roll up in here saying, yeah, I'm gonna fight the top motherfucker. I'm now from the perspective of JoJo and Teofimo Lopez, they should be doing that. They should be calling out the top fighters, right? So I have no problem with them doing it. But I have no problem with the response from the top fighters. You know what I'm saying? They should be looking at these niggas like, y'all need to go do something before I give y'all anything. Tevin Farmer specifically used to be in the shoes of a JoJo Diaz, right?
Ooh,
he didn't have no
that's
belt.
A real good point.
Right. He didn't have no belt. You know what I'm saying? He had only just beaten Ivan Redcock. You know what I'm saying? And then he was calling out Tank. Tank was like, nigga, you better go get you a belt, right? Then he fought the Osawa. I can't remember his first name, but the Japanese dude Osawa that he got robbed in, right?
Positive for
he tested positive for PED, and they stripped him of the IBF belt,
right?
The belt that he has now that he fought Billy Dibb for. You know what I'm saying?
Synthetic HGH or some bullshit.
Yeah. So he had to go through that. You know what I'm saying? He had to go through that bullshit to get to where he is today. He's telling JoJo Diaz, nigga, you got to go through something just like I did. If you're trying to fight me, I'm not just going to give you that shot because motherfuckers didn't give me that shot. You know what I'm saying? I had to keep winning. I had to be ranked. I had to come back from my loss to Jose Pedraza, just like you got to come back from your loss to Gary Russell Jr. You know, Teofimo Lopez, you fighting a bunch of bum ass niggas. Edith Tatley, who the fuck is Edith Tatley? You know what I'm saying? You know, Diego Magdaleno. This ain't Jesse we talking about. This is the fucking illegitimate brother, Diego, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You ain't fought nobody, bro. Can't just walk up in here thinking you gonna get a shot at the unified champion and you ain't got nothing to bring with you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're talking about here, man. These guys are making the right statements. They're making the right decisions. Hell, Tevin Farmer was like, I'm gonna starve the nigga out. He said in the interview, I'm gonna starve him out. He ain't gonna get no fight with me. He's right. You should do that. JoJo, get your weight up, dog. Get your weight up, dog. Let's see what they got in the chat real quick, man.
Man, the chat is live today. I'm proud of y'all, man. The chat is live. And I love the question. See, this is why I love doing. Let me tell you something. Any motherfucking body, dog, any motherfucking body can sit and look at BoxRec, look at Wikipedia, okay? Anybody can listen to a show, then put their questions together and come back later. This is live. This shit is off the dome, off the gip. We don't say it here right now. We fucked. Exactly. I can think of what I should have said an hour ago. It don't mean shit right now.
Exactly. You know what, man? I'm gonna throw a little bonus in there, man. They were asking us. I should have put this on the topic list. Let's jump in this shit, man, because I'm thinking I might take off a couple other things that's on the topic list. So fuck it. I seen in an interview, shout out to my man Jay Calderon, man. He interviewed Errol Spence. Basically, Errol Spence turned down $20 million to fight Canelo Alvarez. He said it wasn't enough money. Yo, hold up, fam. He said $20 million was not enough money. What do you think about that, man? What do you think about that, bro? I can't listen. This is what pisses me off in boxing today, man. This is the type of shit that makes me mad, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't.
He said, wait a minute. He said $20 million wasn't enough.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, all right. Hold on. Let me ask this question. Just one question. What did Daniel Jacobs just get to fight Canelo? $10 million? $12 million?
Man,
okay.
I don't. I think he got 10. I think I already got 10.
Okay.
For, Canelo.
Golovkin got. I think he got a boatload of money. He got way more than that.
Yeah.
Errol Spence Jr. is not on that level at 160 pounds in the middleweight division because that's what he would fight him at. Is it 160? Canelo ain't coming to 154, right? Yeah. So you'd have to go to 160. Well, Errol Spence Jr. ain't on that level where you can tell me going to 160 and then turning down 20 million.
Hold on, Hamza. Hold on, Hamza. What's the fucking difference, nigga? That was the first offer. He said it wasn't enough money. I watched the interview.
Right, but well, whether it was the first offer or not, to say $20 million is not enough money when you have never made nothing close to that. I think Errol Spence's highest is I'm what was it 5? When everything with the Mikey Garcia fight, he probably walked away with 5 or 6 mil. You've never even come close to getting half of that. So to say, hey, that's not enough money, no, that's a real bad statement to make. He could have said, hey, man, I got other things going on right now, 147. I got to wrap up first. Understandable. Very good. I agree with that. Wrap up everything in your division first if you want to, cool. But to say $20 million is not, no, man, that's not enough money. That's no, dog. That's unacceptable, man. It's crazy.
Listen, Virtuoso
said you're right. My man said you're right.
Virtuoso said that's not enough money, or I don't accept lowball offers has become coded language for fighters who don't take risks. Listen, man, I hate to say it, bro, but it's down the middle. It's down the middle. Errol Spence used to be one of those guys for me, or he still is, man. Let's just see how this plays out. I won't say used to be. Errol Spence is one of those guys that will fight anybody at any point, at any time of the day. He's like a Jared Hurd, you know. He's like a Terence Crawford, right? He's like many of the guys in the smaller weight divisions, right? He'll fight anybody any time of the day. But I have seen this very slowly. I have seen Errol Spence transition into a guy who's starting to smell his own shit, bro. Or at least let me say that, starting to think his own shit don't stink.
Well, he's a promoter now. Like he's speaking from a business side now.
Maybe.
Yeah, that might be right. But I think it's more so the fact that he's gotten a lot of buzz, man. He's been getting a lot of buzz. Look at who he hanging out with. Tank and fucking Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather gets in the ring and shit when he fights now. You know what I'm saying? Look at the people he associates himself with. They all have the same mentality. That mentality is only going to bleed onto you. You see what I'm saying? I remember when Errol Spence over there drunk on camera talking about, and what'd he say? I was born in 95. In 2015, I was 15 years old. You know what I'm saying? Or he was born in 1990. In 2015, I was 15 years old. He said some stupid shit like that, right?
Yeah.
You know, it was, Errol Spence was never doing that, bro, before he got on the big stage. You see what I'm saying? I've seen him slowly transition into that cat that is smelling himself, B. You know what I'm saying? So this is just another indication of what I've been seeing. If he's out there in these streets, talking about 20 million, man, get that little ass shit up out of here, nigga. What? Wait, what? Hold on. Nigga, have you unified welterweight at least, nigga? Have you at least won 2 titles in the welterweight division? Have you at least beaten a top 5 pound for pound fighter, motherfucker? Hell, top 10. You know what I'm saying? Have you beaten a top welterweight besides Kell Brook? Okay. All right. Well, this is the thing, man. I get what he's saying. He's trying to pull his clout. Listen, Canelo, the attendance at T-Mobile Arena was only 20,000 for Canelo Jacobs, right? Errol Spence pulled in, what, 68,000 at the Dallas Stadium?
No, 47.
Or 48,000 or something like that?
Yeah.
At Dallas Stadium, all right? Maybe he's trying to pull that card. Because I remember in the post-fight press conference for Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia, he was already in there like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm the big, or he actually said this, I'm the cash cow at 147 now. He said that during the press conference. You know what I'm saying? So he's already showing that he feels he's got the clout. Maybe he might be trying to push that clout on Canelo by saying 20 million ain't enough. I agree. You don't agree with the first offer. I agree with that. But 20 million, bro? I wouldn't go in the media talking about that. What I would say in the media is, yeah, we're going to negotiate that and other things. I would say something like that.
Well,
I wouldn't say.
I would even have said, and my man Prophet, he's saying he disagree with us. I mean, that ain't nothing new, Prophet. You always disagreeing, which is why I like when you in the chat. You know what I'm saying? But Prophet, he made a comment. Let me go back to it. He said 20 million is enough for a Spence Canelo fight when Spence is a belt holder and making moves and big fights in 147. So why risk it? Spence is a belt holder at 147. He's not a belt holder at 160. So that alone eliminates him.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
Alone, right. So that alone don't hold no weight when we're talking about a fight.
Hey, actually, they're going to make Spence drop his belt if he goes up to 160 and fights Canelo. You know why? Because the IBF does not allow you to be a champion in one division and fight for the same title in another division. Ask Mikey Garcia. He had to drop his IBF belt. He won off of Robert Easter Jr. to face Errol Spence at 147.
Well, then what happened? What happened when it came to Brook?
What do you mean?
Brook fought GGG.
GGG? Did he have the IBF belt?
Yeah, Brook was the IBF.
Was he fighting for it?
Yeah, he was fighting. He fought GGG.
Did he fight for the IBF belt though? If the IBF didn't sanction that fight, then he wouldn't have to drop it.
Okay. Did they?
That's what I'm asking you. Did he fight for the belt?
You know what? I think you might be right. I think you might, because I remember reading something about IBF not sanctioning that belt.
We're gonna see right now. But go ahead. Go on what you're saying. I'll jump in.
But my thing is though, he's not a belt holder at 160, right? So you can't factor him being a belt holder at a two-weight division below. That holds no weight when we're talking about 160. Okay, right? But I agree with the sentiment that, man, he got a lot of shit going on at 147. He got the record first. I totally agree with that. But to still say 20 million isn't enough, oh yes, the fuck it is. 20 million is more than enough for him to take a fight with Canelo Alvarez when, again, you haven't got nowhere near that much. And you're talking about he's coming up two weight divisions, right? Okay, that's $10 million division you jump. $10 million passing 154, $10 million to meet me at one motherfucking 60.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it was to me, it was a situation of it was a bad statement for him to make, and he should have made a better one for me, which should have been, listen, I got too much shit going on right now, 147. I got to focus on that first. I can't be thinking about no Canelo Alvarez. But to say, well, man, $20 million isn't enough. Well, no, that's absolutely wrong right there, dog. You're absolutely wrong with saying something like that. But again, I see where he's coming from because he's a promoter. He's putting on his promotion hat. So he's trying to say, well, you know what, dog, if they want me to fight because I am a big name, then you know what, that's not enough. I'm gonna fight Sean Porter, beat this motherfucker, get 2 belts, then come back and talk to me again.
Right.
And let's see what happens. You know.
Right. So what the IBF did was basically there was a stipulation put in place that even if he beats Errol Spence, Gennady Golovkin, he will go back to 147 and defend his title against Errol Spence. So that was the stipulation. That's why he was able to keep that title and fight Gennady Golovkin at 160, because they did sanction a bout. So in this case, if there's some type of stipulation saying that Errol Spence moves back down to 147 after fighting Canelo, then they'll allow him to keep his belt just based off of history. Mikey Garcia was not committing to staying at 135, as you can see now, right? He had the whole fucking debacle about where he was going to go. And also Richard Comey was his mandatory. That was another thing, right?
Yeah, and Comey was promised that the next fight he was going to be for the IBF title. That's why Mikey had to let that motherfucker go.
Exactly. So that's what's gonna happen. That's what would happen. You know what I'm saying? If he's able to keep that IBF belt, it had to be some stipulation that he'd move back down and fight a mandatory.
Hey, Prophet, I don't think Crawford and Spence is you talking about Earl can get $20 million fighting Terence Crawford. I don't know about. I don't see that. I don't see that. How could I don't see that, dog. I don't see how he can get $20 million fighting Terence Crawford.
I don't know, man. Maybe, I don't know. I can't really speak on that. I'm not sure, because right now, man, if I'm Errol Spence, I have the upper hand. I'm talking like 75-35 with the upper hand, bro. So I can't really say what negotiations will go about in that particular fight, because Terence Crawford and Top Rank, to be honest with you, man, they have to seek Errol Spence, just like Deontay WIlder has to seek Anthony Joshua. So when you got a guy, right, who is the second top fighter in the division, who many see as pound for pound number 1 or 2 in the sport, and he's put in a position where he might have to grovel at y'all's feet, you know what I'm saying, just to get a fight with you, them motherfuckers might just push it up that much, man. Hey, well, we want to guarantee 25 million or no fight. Again, that's why I say I don't like the man Errol Spence is becoming. That's why I say that. I remember in the post-fight press conference, man, I think it was Steve Kim that asked him, are you going to go to the Terence Crawford Amir Khan fight? He was like, nope, shit, I'm about to watch that on TV. I ain't got to go to that fight. What you mean, nigga? Everybody wants to see you fight the motherfucker. Why wouldn't you make an appearance, right?
Yeah. Which goes back to what I'm saying. If you're not doing enough to hype it up, I just don't see this being a $20 million fight where Earl gonna get 20 million, Crawford gonna get what, 10 or 15. I don't see that. I don't see this being a $40-50 million fight. Me personally, I don't
either.
That's what I'm saying.
Either.
So
I don't either, man. But Canelo would be, and maybe that's why he's saying it's not enough. But or he's probably just like, I'm just trying to stay at 147. That's not enough money to make me do a two-weight jump. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's my listen. If Errol Spence even looking at, well, listen, I got this fight with Crawford right now, because he does. He fights Crawford, and then he revisits that later. Then okay, yeah, I see what you guys are saying. But right now, with your biggest win being Kell Brook, because people are knocking the shit out of him for that. Like, people are not giving him credit for the numbers that fight did with Mikey Garcia, and they saying it was more because of the Mexican fan base. Hence why people are saying, well, then his numbers, then he should have a pay-per-view with Sean Porter, right? That's what people are saying right now. So that's why when I'm hearing that, I'm listening to that. Then he said he gonna turn down 20 million to fight Canelo Alvarez. That's a problem with me, because it's like, okay, well, you're not being given credit for what you did with Mikey Garcia as far as numbers are going. People thinking, hey man, that's a Mexican fan base. That's the only reason why you did it, right?
Right.
You need another pay-per-view to prove this to me. Then and then we just saw Crawford only do 150 with Amir Khan. So it's nothing there for me to say, hey man, that's a $20 million fight for Earl, a $20 million fight for Earl. There's nothing for me to say that just yet. But at the same time, I understand where he was coming from. I think with Earl, it's a matter of that just came out wrong.
Yeah, man. You gotta say that's why I said that's why I said I wouldn't have said, nah, that $20 million isn't enough. I would have said, oh, well, we're gonna negotiate that. We're gonna negotiate that and other things, and we might, we'll get back to y'all niggas on something. You know what I'm saying? Right. I wouldn't have just straight out said that. William Sebastian says Spence has been saying he would love to fight Canelo for years now. Yeah, yes. Actually, Oscar De La Hoya told Errol Spence 2 years ago that he wanted that fight to happen. Errol Spence was like, yeah, I'll definitely fight him at 154. Never said 160, right? But also here's the thing. We're talking before Errol Spence is the man he is today. Money will change you, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You're not just going to sit there and still have the same type of mindset and still have the same type of, same type of psychological makeup as you did when you were just a prospect or you just became a champion. Now, not only is he a champion, he's one of the most sought after fighters at 147. He's one of the more popular fighters in the sport. He's not as popular as Canelo and Anthony Joshua, but he is one of the more popular fighters in the sport. Years ago, he was not. So now he's like, well, hold on, man, I got my clout up. So now that I got my clout up, the numbers got to go up. So that's why I'm not surprised by him saying this. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't, like Bo said, it wasn't the right thing to say at that right moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did. Earl Spence. I don't think this is a Deontay Wilder situation. I just think this situation where with Earl, that just came out wrong.
Yeah. T-Tone said, basically, I think it was a comment right before that. He said it's bullshit that he's using Mikey Garcia numbers to duck Terence Crawford. It doesn't matter who he fought. He said it was a lightweight challenge and a welterweight. It doesn't matter. The numbers are the numbers. The numbers they're not biased towards, what weight divisions you're campaigning at. The numbers speak volumes, bro. Yeah. Hey, if Manny Pacquiao fought Naoya Inoue at a catch weight of fucking 137 or some shit, I don't know, and the numbers are big and Pacquiao wins, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, like
doesn't matter, man.
I've always said this, man. If you guys know the history of boxing, you go back to the days of Homicide Hank, Ezar Charles. You go back, Sugar Ray Robinson, Jake LaMotta, the Murders Row. These guys back in them days, they would never check off what the weight was of the fight. You know why? Guys would show up, and if they wanted to get paid, they say, man, this fighter didn't show up, but man, you can fight this dude right here. All right, man, fuck it, make the fight. So if you know what I'm saying, so that whole thing, man, is synonymous with boxing. But if it was going to be like, if Earl, I don't know, man, it's a situation where the more these guys start seeing more of the business side and more of the abilities and movements that they have, we're going to start seeing more shit like this from guys like Spence and even Deontay Wilder, because they're starting to see what their leverage ability is. And once a fighter starts to see, like Sugar Ray Robinson used to walk into a fight. It's already signed, already got paid, walk into a fight, sit down with the motherfucking promoter and say, hey, man, I see X amount of people out there, so we need to renegotiate this fight.
Exactly.
Otherwise, I'm going home. Like Sugar Ray Robinson used to do shit like that.
Exactly. Yeah, he did. He sure did. Sugar Ray Robinson, man, one of my favorite pound for pound in the sport, in the history of the sport. But he did some strategic moves to duck certain fighters. Definitely Charlie Burley. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. I mean, it is what it is. But T-Tone Toledo said, then why Spence say A-side? Because he's the A-side because of Terence Crawford's position. Top Rank has no welterweights, man.
None.
Actually, Terence Crawford's on the verge of falling out of my top 2 pound for pound ratings, bro. He might go to number 3 in a minute. If Oleksandr Usyk is making noise at heavyweight, if Vasyl Lomachenko becomes undisputed at 135, if Canelo beats Demetrius Andrade, and then we got to settle for Terence Crawford fighting fucking Kell Brook, he might just drop out of my top 3.
I'll be honest with you. If he fights Kell Brook, he drops out of he drops out of that number 1 spot on my list.
My point is he has no fucking welterweight. So if he has no welterweights, because the banner that holds Errol Spence has all the welterweights, yeah, EJ is the fucking A side at that point. They literally are going to have to beg for that fight, man. And they're going to have to concede all sorts of different fucking requirements, recommendations, etc. needed to get the logistics going to get this fight made. They got to concede a whole bunch of shit to get this fight made, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So absolutely, he's the A side just off of that. We ain't even talking about the numbers. Fuck the number. The numbers itself, you can make an argument he's the A side. But fuck the numbers. Just the position that Terence Crawford put himself in when he re-signed with Top Rank. That's why he's not the A side, man.
Hey, man.
Straight up.
Challenge alert. Challenge alert. We may have a pick. My man Loizo said, EJ, some other time we will get into the myth of Sugar Ray Robinson ducking Pearl. That sounds like some pit action, baby. That's pit action.
Hey, Lord. Whoever the fuck you is on here, Hanson, Camus, Lodzo. I know that's my man. That's my man. My man. That motherfucker on here with the alias and shit. Listen, bro, you don't want that work, nigga. You don't want that work.
I don't know, man. I think Lord is an up and coming contender, man. I ready for the title.
Hey, Lord Zoe Camus. That motherfucker ducked not only Charlie Burley, he ducked multiple niggas in the Black Murderers Row. You don't want that work.
Hey, Lord. Hey, man, listen, Lord. That sound like Pitt. That sound like Pitt, Lord. Hey, Lord, you got to respond, baby. That sound like Pitt, man. 2K. Hey, man, look, fuck 2K. He ain't all that, Joe. I'm telling you. I stood next to the nigga. He ain't all that, dog. That light skin dog. Listen, we was in Vegas, and a nigga wouldn't go nowhere without me.
This nigga tripping, bro. This nigga tripping. Y'all need to go look at them. Hey, go look. Go look at them videos on Facebook. He said, I don't want this smoke. Hey, I want all the smoke, bro. I want all the smoke, nigga. I want so much smoke. I want so much smoke, nigga. I'm giving niggas in my household secondhand smoke.
Everybody gonna have chaos up in this motherfucker.
Hell yeah. That's what's up, man. We're gonna move to one more, man. What you got, Bo? You can choose from, like, I think we got two down there, man. What you want?
All right, fuck it. You know what? I'm gonna go since the topic is Canelo Alvarez. Let's stay with that, right? You know, no disrespect to Jerwin and Carlos and Donnie Nietes, and no disrespect to Artur. What you call him? Bravo 2.0.
Man, that nigga Johnny 6.
Johnny 6. Right. Okay, let's stay with Canelo. Man, Callum Smith, since his name popped up on the list of possible opponents, Callum Smith has made it very clear that shit, I'm down for a motherfucking Canelo Alvarez fight. Now, me and 2K talked about that the reason behind them picking Rocky Fielding instead of Callum Smith, which Rocky Fielding was the WBA regular, Smith was the WBA super, was they didn't want to make a fight like that with Canelo dabbing in the super middleweight division like that, which I don't have a problem with. I totally agree. Okay, hey, he's 78-0-1 draw. The nigga down. I'm looking at that shit. Okay. But so he's saying that he's available, right? That's a fight that really can be made considering the fact that Canelo is the WBA regular champion. Both of these guys have connection to Matchroom and DAZN. And if he beats Callum Smith and becomes the WBA super champion, that's a huge feather in his cap going toward what you was talking about as far as Canelo Alvarez possibly being the greatest Mexican fighter of all time.
Right.
Okay. So he goes there. Then now once he gets there, anybody he calls and says, yo, man, I want to fight you. I want to fight you. I want to fight you.
Right.
Man, you know what? I can see Gilberto Ramirez coming back down to 168 for that motherfucker. He'd be like, hey, I know I said 175, but he come back down.
He already said he would for a Canelo or Golovkin fight. He already said he would.
There you go. And with Canelo being at 168, that's when you'll see a lot of guys at 160 chase him to 168. They'll chase his ass to 168 to make the fight. Like Canelo could pull a Floyd Alvarez. I mean, a Canelo could put a Floyd Alvarez.
This nigga said Floyd Alvarez.
I said Floyd Alvarez. Canelo could put a Floyd Mayweather, which is I'm gonna defend my 147-pound title, but I'm also gonna be defending the 154-pound title too. And Canelo could do that. He said, "Listen, man, I'll fight you at 168, but you know we're gonna be defending the 160 belts also."
Right.
And he could possibly do that, man. So I don't know. I still think it's a little dangerous because, man, Callum Smith is arguably the second best super middleweight in that division. But man, when you look at the fight from a money aspect of it, because you just fought Daniel Jacobs, hey man, you can fight a Callum Smith and still get a big bag of money, especially we talking about that UK money. He could still get a big bag of money, man.
Yeah. My man T-Tone said Canelo don't play that A-side, B-side shit. He fights the best for legacy. Brother, he pulled the A-side card when he told Daniel Jacobs that he couldn't rehydrate more than 170 pounds, bro. Listen, the IBF has that 10-pound stipulation, right?
No more they don't.
Hold on. They only have it. Well, they only have it for when you're fighting for that belt solely. When it's a unification bout, they don't have that stipulation, right? So what Canelo and Golden Boy did, they were like, oh, well, shit. Since that stipulation isn't in play, we're going to create our own stipulation using our A-side ability. Hey, nigga, you want your purse? You can't rehydrate past 170, motherfucker. That was what they did, bro. So that comment is null and void right there. Anyway, so yeah, I agree. All like you, listen, Callum Smith is out there in these streets, basically saying, listen, if Golden Boy is serious, we can make that motherfucking fight in the autumn. They say the autumn over there, you know, we say fall, right? Basically August, September for you dumb niggas. I know what autumn is, right? I'm ready for this shit. It's August, September. You know what I'm saying? Shit, maybe even July. Hit me up. Listen, man. I told people on Facebook, I said, which one is better? Callum Smith, where he goes for a third title in a title in his third weight class. Now, again, we know he's a WBA regular, but just like y'all don't give everybody else credit for having a WBA regular title, you can't give credit to Canelo. All right. So this will give him an opportunity to be a 3-division champion, major champion, right? If he were to fight Callum Smith. So is it that, or should he stay at 160 and fight Demetrius Andrade for undisputed? I really want to see him fight Callum Smith. That's a fucking excellent fight. Callum Smith is 6'3". Motherfucker uses every bit of that range, bro. Right? And he's got hard hands. He can knock you the fuck out. Ask George Groves. You know what I'm saying? I really would like to see that fight. Very technical fighter. Very good fighter. By far the best of the Smith brothers. Right? The narrative, or at least the story behind it, is going to be a good one. Canelo knocked out his brother with a body shot. Now Callum Smith is here to get revenge for his brother. And that's Liam Smith. Right? Very good story behind it. But, in my opinion, Canelo should stick around with 160, go for undisputed. Because in my opinion, becoming the undisputed champion is much more of a bigger accolade than becoming the WBA super champion at 168. You know what I'm saying? Demetrius Andrade is saying, hey, I want next. He said, Daniel Jacobs won that fight. I want next. That's what he said. That's what he said verbatim. So I think he should stay at 160, go ahead and take on Demetrius Andrade, get that belt, then do exactly what Terence Crawford did. Drop all them hoes, nigga, right after you get it. Go to 168, fight Callum Smith. Remember what I said earlier in this podcast. Canelo's the cash cow in boxing. He is the cash cow in boxing, man. Oscar De La Hoya can go to anybody in the sport and say, hey, we want you to fight Canelo. That motherfucker gonna jump up and stand at attention. Oh, me? Oh, yeah, please.
See how happy Rocky Fielding was? He was
he turned into a female. Rocky Fielding, that nigga's name was Garcia. That nigga's name was Garcia Fielding, nigga, when he got that lottery ticket.
He was witty as a bitch. He was like, oh, I'm just so glad to be here. Look at the ceiling. Look at the lights. Oh, my.
Yeah, for real. Now, he had never seen no shit, had never seen anything like Madison Square Garden before in his life, bro. That's how he was acting. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, I just by he was all on Twitter, bro. Oh, man, I appreciate everybody for giving me this opportunity. Oh, my God. I was like, this nigga about to get knocked the fuck out. You were too happy about getting an opportunity to fight Canelo that you're not going to be ready when them damn lights turn on. And he wasn't. He got knocked the fuck out, smooth clean out by 4 rounds, right? So if De La Hoya points at anybody, they're going to take the fight. So Callum Smith will always be there, right? I think he should go from the speed, like I said, drop all them hoes, move up to 168, fight Callum Smith. That's going to prompt Gilberto Ramirez to come back down. Then you got a big-ass fight at 168 from Mexico.
Yeah, like they did with Chavez.
Like they did with Chavez Jr. Between 2 undefeated Mexicans, man. Dog, Canelo's got so many fucking options, bro. And I'm telling you, if he continues on the path that he's on, he can most definitely not just be pound for pound #1. He has a state he can claim to be one of the best Mexican fighters, if not the best Mexican fighter of all time. He's on that path.
Listen, man, let's just put it into a perspective. Like, I will always talk shit about Sugar Ray Empire Duncan Leonard, right? But the one thing about him is Sugar Ray Empire Duncan Leonard coming out of retirement, not being a champion, dictated terms to the champion Marvin fucking Hagler.
Right.
Okay, yeah. That's what we're talking about. Canelo could drop all belts, say, fuck it, I don't want to fight for no more belts. I'm fucking tired of paying these motherfucking fees. Now, of course, when you do it, they're all gonna suck his dick. Oh, wait a minute, Canelo just
WBC, they slap the shit out of you.
Canelo, you know, they gonna rub it. Wait a minute. Canelo, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We'll lower the fees, right? But he could say that and still be the biggest motherfucking cash cow in boxing with no belt. He could do that right motherfucking now with no fucking belt. He could say, man, fuck all these goddamn belts. I'm tired of these motherfuckers. I done this shit, old shit to me. Fuck them. He could say that and point to a champion and say, yo, man, I want to fight you, but I ain't fighting you for that piece of shit belt, but I want to fight you.
Right.
No problem, Canelo. Fuck him. No problem, Canelo. Fuck him.
Yeah, they'll drop them hoes right then and there, bro. They dropped them hoes right then and there. You know, look at the bullshit Gennady Golovkin was going
walk through. To the ring last. Like, he could walk to the ring. The champion walked to the ring first. He walked to the ring with no belt last.
Oh, he did that with Liam Smith.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Liam Smith was the WBO champion. Canelo did not have a belt, and Canelo walked out last. He did, and then he made the motherfucker come to Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He said, yeah, we know you the champ, but this is what's going to happen, nigga. Again, with T-Tone, this is him playing the A side. This is what's going to happen. You're going to bring your ass on over here to Texas, nigga. You know, where it's basically biased as fuck for Mexican fighters. You still going to come over here, and you're going to walk out last. And I'm going to fuck your bitch after the fight. Yo, that nigga play A side like a motherfucker on that one. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, man, like we're saying, Canelo has the opportunity, man, to be that dude out of all the Mexican greats. I honestly think that's why Juan Manuel Marquez be hating on him like that, bro.
Oh, I know that's why Juan Marquez be hating on him.
I think that's why Marquez be hating on him like that, bro.
I know that.
You know what I'm saying? No, it was Dallas, my brother, because I actually got invited to go to that fight before we actually made Three Kings. They fought out here in Frisco, Texas, where I live. It was a few fucking, like a couple minutes away from my house when he fought Liam Smith. But
yeah, Kirkland was Houston.
Yeah, Kirkland was Houston. Exactly. But yeah, man, like I said, man, he has an opportunity to path that he can go down. 28 years old, all these fights, he's the cash cow. Nobody's gonna turn a fight down with him. This motherfucker can do whatever he wants, man. Whatever the fuck he wants, bro.
Telling y'all, man.
You know what I'm saying?
The nigga popped positive for PED and didn't get none of the repercussions that none of these niggas is out here getting right now.
Hey, my man Virtuoso made a very good point. He said, Canelo is already the greatest Irish boxer of all time. Hey, man, Barry McGuigan ain't gonna like that statement.
I like that statement.
Barry McGuigan ain't gonna like that shit, bro. That's the reason why Barry McGuigan's sorry ass even got in the Hall of Fame, because he's considered one of the greatest Irish boxers of all time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
man, William Sebastian said GGG on some bullshit. How can he say it's impossible to get all the belts when all the belts are with his own? You know what though? Gennady Golovkin was hating like a motherfucker on Canelo. That fight was boring. It was a sparring session. Yeah. It was hey man, listen, dog. We giving you your motherfucking a lift up or send off or whatever the fuck you want to call it by getting rid of Abel Sanchez. You know what I'm saying? Don't let your nut swing too high. You ain't got it like that. You can't say how you can't be hating on a dude like Canelo Alvarez, because what Canelo could do is say, man, fuck you in that third fight then, bitch. You don't think I was the worst?
Exactly.
Man, fuck you in that third fight then, right? So GGG need to be real careful. But you know, I mean, I'm not saying I don't agree with his statement. I'm just saying that you know, man, for him to be hating like that, come on, man. Like that's not your nature. Don't start doing that shit, man.
Well, GGG still believes he won both fights. You know, the first fight he can make a case. The second fight, absolutely not. He lost the second fight. But yeah, the first fight he could definitely make a case and say he was robbed. Canelo could say the same thing. Whatever, it is what it is. But that's what he thinks. You know what I'm saying? He's speaking from that point of view. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. My man Camus said Steve Collins, greatest Irish fighter of all time. Yeah, they ain't gonna like that. Basically, they're not gonna like that whole statement. What's good, Weed Degree? You late than a motherfucker, bro. We getting ready to get up off here pretty soon. We going through the comments right now, man. Let's see. Hans Camus said GGG won both fights. I don't think he won the second one.
I don't think he won the second one. You can make the argument for that first one, but not that second one.
Not the second one, man. What else we got? Look through the comments for me, bro. We got a bunch of motherfuckers in here commenting, bro. Man,
getting paid from the zone, so he's good. You know what, Too Tough? That's your app. You know what? You're right. I didn't think about that. That might be why he's flexing, talking shit like that. Because you're right. He did get a nice fat contract from the zone, so he might be like, "Hey man, I can talk shit now, nigga. I'm getting paid too." So you might be right. Good point. Good point. I didn't think about that. Good point.
Yeah,
you're right. Because like if I couldn't say shit before because I needed the money from you, cool. But when I'm getting paid, when you get paid, oh yeah, nigga, let me tell you what I've been meaning to tell you this for a long time, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like 2K, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the minute 2K hand me that check, I'm gonna talk all kind of shit to the nigga.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's see. M. Serrano said Jacob said he might move up to 168. I think he might have a good run in that division. Hey man, I like that. I like Daniel Jacobs going to 168. You know what I'm saying? Look, you got a guy like Anthony
for that division, man.
Huh?
He's too big, and I think it's starting to affect his performance. That was a horrible performance last night. I think that trying to make that 160 is starting to affect his overall performance. I didn't even see a lot of pop on his jab like I normally do.
Well, I don't think it affected him because at the end of the day, I already told y'all Daniel Jacobs will no longer fight.
I'm trying to state my case for my argument,
nigga. he'll no longer fight how he fought Gennady Golovkin. I already said that plenty of times. We're just seeing Daniel Jacobs fall down that mountain that I said he was going to fall down any goddamn way. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I think going to 168 might revitalize him a little bit. It might slow down that speed, you know what I'm saying, of falling down that mountain a bit. I mean, if you look at what they got up there right now, you got Caleb Plant. I like Caleb Plant. I don't think he's a top fighter, but I like him. You know what I'm saying? That's a good fight. I like David Benavidez. He is the best fighter at 168, in my opinion, in terms of skill and raw potential. I think the second best is Callum Smith. You know what I'm saying? And then you got motherfucker holding. He's basically holding the belt hostage right now, and that's Anthony Durrell. I think Daniel Jacobs beats Anthony Durrell. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's some good fights for him up there where he actually has a chance to win a title. He actually has a chance to even possibly become a unified champion. I like a Daniel Jacobs versus Caleb Plant fight. You know what I'm saying? I like that fight. Yeah, I think he should go to 168. That's a good move. You know, if Jesse Hart stayed there, that'd have been a good fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So your brother Ramirez would have been a good fight. Yeah, I think 168 is the right move for him. What are we gonna say?
This is why being part of Three Kings Boxing is good, because you get knowledge from every fucking where. Mike Wilson, Pound for Pound Boxing, and a writer for Three Kings said Barry McGuigan needs to still answer the question why he didn't fight Azuma Nelson. I'm just saying.
Oh well, because he would have got knocked the fuck out, Mike. That's an easy question to answer. He would got Barry McGuigan is one of the most overrated Hall of Fame fighters of all time, right down there with Arturo Gatti.
Arturo Gatti, yes sir.
You know what I'm saying? One of the most overrated. Him, Arturo Gatti, and Ingemar Johansson. Three of the most overrated motherfuckers in the Hall of Fame right now.
Wait a minute, nigga. Ingemar Johansson is in the Hall of Fame?
Yes, he is.
The fuck did he do?
He beat Floyd Patterson.
That's it.
That's it. And they put him in the Hall of Fame. That's it. But
But he lost to Floyd Patterson twice. He got knocked out in the fucking, I think that the rematch to that fight, or the third fight. I can't remember right now. But he got knocked out when they fought again after that. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Patterson said, "Oh shit, I'm gonna knock your ass out." It's kind of what happened with Sugar Ray Robinson and Randy Turpin. Remember when Sugar Ray Robinson went over to the UK? And lost to Randy Turpin, and then he immediately rematched Randy Turpin in America, and he knocked him out like in the second round. Same shit happened with Ingemar Johansson and fucking Floyd Patterson. You know what I'm saying? Johansson, McGuigan, and fucking Arturo Gatti, the three most overrated motherfuckers in the Hall of Fame right now. They should not be in the Hall of Fame. And matter of fact, because them three in the Hall of Fame, that's why I think a lot of niggas should be in the Hall. I should be in the Hall of Fame. Nigga, if Rocky Balboa could get in that motherfucker, I want to be in the Hall of Fame, damn it. Mike followed up and said, "Yeah, I still don't understand why Arturo got in the Hall of Fame, but Nigel Benn is not. Nigel Benn isn't. Isn't Chris Eubank Jr. I mean, a senior's not in there. Michael Moore's not in there.
And Nigel Benn, honestly, to me, had a better resume than Chris Eubanks Senior.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, Nigel Benn had a much better resume than Chris Eubanks Senior.
He was willing to even fight him in the U.S., which Senior. Now, both of them niggas didn't want to fight James Toney.
Yeah. Fucking we degree. Not only that, it's because he was murdered. That's why they honored him into the Hall of Fame. Right? They put it. The Ward fights were like a big ass. It was a big step up. Probably wouldn't have got him in there. But then when he got murdered, they said, "Let's honor him. Put him in there."
Put him in there because actually before the Ward's fight, he had 2 fights with my guy from Philly, Ivan
Robinson.
Ivan Robinson, my guy from Philly, and he lost both of those, and even Arturo Gatti lost a fight to Angel Manfredi.
Yeah, Angel Manfredi beat both of them niggas. Angel Manfredi beat Ivan Robinson and Arturo Gatti. Yeah, hands Gennaro Hernandez. That's another one. Gennaro Hernandez is one of the most dominant lightweight champions at that time until he fought Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, word up, Lloyd. Word up. That's why I love our chat. He said, they put Vernon Forrest in there. Goddamn right.
Nigga, I'm telling you, bro, there's a lot of cats that shit. Sergio Mora. I'm just saying, bro. You gonna put Arturo Gatti in there. You just open the door for a lot of motherfuckers, man. Arturo Gatti and Barry McGuigan. You open the door for a lot of motherfuckers to get in there. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely, man. Appreciate it, too tough. We're gonna keep it up, brother. We're gonna keep it up. Let me go all the way up the chat, man. The chat don't let you scroll all the way up, dog.
No,
there's a lot of shit people were saying.
Don't just hit
earlier.
the like button, motherfucker. Subscribe too, and hit the icon bell to let you know when we live. Because you never know. Now, if you follow us, we was on Facebook. Oh yeah, go to Facebook. 3 Kings Boxing on Facebook. We are now, when we had boxing matches on site, man. We going live, man. We bringing y'all the real.
We're bringing y'all the real, man. We got some good shit over there on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? We might go live on this motherfucker. You never know, man. So y'all got to click that notification bell. Make sure you get told, hey, 2K and Bo online. You know what I'm saying?
Lloyd Zoe said, "Do me a favor as a Haitian, please don't bring Stavern up. Please. And thank you. If you bring him up again, I'll be forced to use you."
Oh, man. Hey, man, but listen, we got to give Deontay WIlder the credit that he deserves. He beat Bermain Stavern to become WBC champion and Luis Ortiz, and that's it. That's the credit he deserves. You know what I'm saying? The God channel said, "Hey, how's it going, man? Keep up the good work. Appreciate it, the God channel." Let's see what else we got, man. Glockoth Shango. Let's see what he says. Wilder's not looking for anything, but his people likely want a non-multi-fight deal in 2020.
Say that again.
He's basically saying that they're looking for a multi-fight deal or a non-multi-fight deal in 2020. Pretty much everything that's going on right now. They're not looking to be tied down with any type of networks for a multi-fight deal in 2020. I mean, I think I get the idea. No, I get the idea of that because that's probably why he turned down. That's one of the reasons why he turned down the zone. Besides wanting to be a free agent, right? That's the whole essence of wanting to be a free agent. You want to be able to call your own shots. You don't want to be tied down to a network or other entities that are basically going to, have your balls in their hand. Like what Mikey Garcia went through, what Andre Ward went through with Dan Goosen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you got problems, you don't want to fight for these motherfuckers. Well, you just sitting on the shelf for some odd amount of time. He doesn't want to have to go through that, right? So I get what he's saying, but at the end of the day, bro, it's harder to get the fights you want to get when you're a free agent. I think Deontay Wilder's what, 33, 34 years old.
Yeah,
you know
he's actually older than Tyson Fury and
he is.
Joshua.
He absolutely is. Yeah, Tyson Fury is just like 30 or something like that, right? And Joshua, he's like 29 or 28, something like that. Yeah, he's older than both of those guys. So those guys, as I said on the podcast a long time ago, this is like episode 12 or some shit. Those guys can freeze him out. And they're doing it now. You know what I'm saying? Wilder's up here saying all this shit. Yeah, we ain't looking for nobody. Fuck these niggas. Well, I mean, they're just like, okay, well, I mean, we got other options. You know, Tyson Fury's on his way out the door, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? He's on his way out the door. Whether or not he gets a Wilder fight, he still gets paid his money that he got from Top Rank. Tyson Fury, why do you think Tyson Fury was happy at the end of that fight? You know, it wasn't because he felt he lost the fight and was gifted a draw. That's not what he felt. It's not because he woke up from a damn knockout. You know what I'm saying? That's not because of it either. The whole point of him calling out Deontay Wilder was to use him to get a bigger deal. And by God, that shit happened, bro, right after, nigga. Right the fuck after.
It did. I mean, and you know, and you know, you see, and here's the thing, and like I always say, this is why it's not good to be a hater or a fanboy, right? Because people are saying, well, then if Wilder was such a big deal, then how come Showtime just not gave him a contract? Okay, now my response to that is I said, well, then shit, if Tyson Fury was such a big fucking deal, then how come ESPN just not offer this motherfucker a goddamn contract? Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's so, and then on top of that, if you're like, if you look at how Showtime does shit, there's only been 3 fighters they've offered contracts to of that like that: Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Manny Pacquiao. They're not one of them entities to just go out and offer you shit. Once they saw there's value and money in this, then they made you an offer, which is what motherfuckers do. You don't just offer, like the Zone offered big contracts to who? Joshua, Canelo, and motherfucking GGG. They didn't offer them things to motherfucking Tevin Farmer or Daniel Jacobs or motherfucking Ebimichi Andrade. They didn't do that. All the other fighters they got on there, they gave big contracts to 3 motherfuckers. That was it. So you know, that's why I say this is why we keep shit straight down the fucking middle, because when like, you know, somebody said some shit about, well, Deontay only made $4 million. Nigga, if your name ain't Canelo Alvarez and Anthony Joshua, you ain't making nothing close to $4 million.
Right. Unless you with the zone, who's giving money to niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Motherfucker ain't making, well, unless you fight one of them niggas. But Daniel Jacobs fought Selecki, he didn't get $4 million for that. Yeah,
the zone is giving niggas money, bro. Like they feeding the poor right now, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And if you had a problem with Heyman overpaying motherfuckers, then you should have a problem with the Zone overpaying and ESPN. ESPN gave Vasyl Lomachenko $3 million to fight motherfucking Anthony Croyer. The fuck out of here, dog. If Al Heyman did some shit like that, y'all motherfucking niggas be all up his ass.
Exactly. My man Cesar Gonzalez said Canelo versus Spence. Who you got, bro?
Canelo versus Earl Spence. Man, what I saw last night, Earl Spence showed me something with Mikey Garcia, right? But that was a smaller man. Canelo showed me something with Jacobs. Jacobs was a bigger man.
Right.
So after what I saw, Canelo Alvarez is a fighter whose ring IQ has caught up with his overall natural ability. And based off what I saw, and based off the fact that Earl Spence ain't got no head movement, okay, based off the fact that Earl Spence still is sort of a stagnant fight, I just think at this point I have to go with Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez.
Man.
I'd have to. Canelo Alvarez has consistently, on a consistent basis, like I just saw what I saw from Earl Spence, from Mikey, on a consistent basis at every fight on different levels. I've seen Canelo growth rate grow. When he, after losing to Floyd, he fought Erzani Lara, and then what he fucked up with Floyd, he didn't do with Lara.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Same thing, just like even when he fought Rocky Fielding. What I always say, I like guys when they realize you should be in this fucking ring with me, I'm gonna run you over and get you the fuck down. I'm gonna run you over and get you the fuck out of here. He shifted gears with Rocky Finn, let everybody know, hey man, this ain't finna be a long night, motherfuckers. It's over. Go home, fuck your bitch, smoke your weed, whatever the fuck y'all was gonna do.
Well, no. Well, no, not the second one. He's gonna say, well, smoke your weed, but give me your bitch.
Okay, yeah, right. Smoke your weed.
Give me your bitch. She coming with me, but you can go smoke your weed though.
So that's all. It's just to me the level of progression that I've seen against higher level competitions that were technically bigger than him. I've seen Canelo do more versus what I saw Earl Spence do with a smaller Mikey Garcia. It wasn't still impressive, but it was because it was something I didn't expect him to do, but it was still against a smaller guy. If he get in the ring with Canelo, I don't think his success rate will be the same.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I agree with you, but I ain't even getting into that shit, bro. That's gonna take a long ass time. We'll be on this bitch 3 hours.
Well, I tried to make it simple.
I break that shit down to the white meat. All right, man. Next comment. We got 2 more. Oh shit, I just lost it. He said, Lawrence Williams said, why do you guys think John Skipper apologized to Team Wilder during the DAZN negotiations? That's a good question. Maybe because they felt they didn't give him enough money. I don't know. I have no idea, man. Maybe there were some things going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. Some things that, because Deontay Wilder did say he felt a little disrespected. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing Dylan White said.
Right. Dylan White said the same thing. So maybe whatever they said to him behind the scenes during the negotiation process, maybe it, Wilder didn't like it, came out, said, I felt disrespected. John Skipper said, all right, my bad. I apologize for that. Let's go ahead and reevaluate the negotiations we got going on here. You know what I'm saying? He ended up turning the shit down any goddamn way. But at the end of the day, it's hard to say why we think that happened when there's not much information to go on. The only thing we know is that he got offered $100 million in a multi-fight deal where he would fight Anthony Joshua, and then there would be a rematch clause on top of that. So I don't know. To me, that sounds like something that he should have did if he really wants a shot at Anthony Joshua, because as a free agent, man, they really can freeze this motherfucker out.
Shit, they're doing it to Charlo.
Yeah, man. Oh my God, dog. Like what they do after the fight, they didn't even mention Charlo's name, bro. They didn't even mention. And niggas are saying Canelo ducking Charlo. No, that's not what it is. Charlo's not with DAZN. Why would the fuck would they mention him?
I mean, it's the same thing Heyman is doing to Crawford.
Yeah.
You're not over here. So why the fuck would I give you a foot in the fucking door? Like I said, Al Heyman did it once. That's how Anthony Joshua ran the tables. Al Heyman allowed him to fight Charles Martin. And then the nigga said, thank you, bye. And nigga ran the tables and froze your boy out. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, hey, man, hey, I can't be mad at him for that. Charlo is on the outside looking in. And the reality is, and this is the reason why Jacobs did what he did when he signed with them, because the reality was he knew, I want these fights. I'm not gonna get these fights sitting over here. Same reason Demetrius Andrade's career has been revived. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. His career has been revised by Eddie motherfucking Hearns, dog. Like we are no longer just seeing this nigga in gym doing workouts, giving videos and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like hold on. The nigga got so Demetrius Andrade got so cocky. The nigga is being double parked and being pulled over with a gun in the car. You didn't hear about shit like that from Andrade, dog.
Yeah, man. Exactly. So, that nigga's out there in them streets in Rhode Island, nigga, talking about I'm holding it down. Nigga, what? Oh shit. All right, man. I'm gonna do one more, and these two kind of go together. 2 comments, but they go together. Sofa Security said, truth, people fanboying and not keeping it real have the most cognitive dissonance. He's absolutely correct.
I agree.
Weed Degree came up behind that and said, I can handle fighter fanboys. Network fanboys are the worst.
Absolutely motherfucking correct.
I can't stand it, bro.
Percent.
I mean, if Weed Degree was in front of me, bro, I had to dap him up, bro. Him and Sofa Security, I had to dap both of them up, bro, if they were standing in front of me.
Then I would check my pockets to make sure my money was still in my wallet. But I would definitely dap them niggas up there.
Yeah, real talk. But that shit is on point. Look, Bo deals with it more than I do. Listen, man, I post our articles and shit. I'll post some videos. We'll go live on Facebook and all of that. But I don't really fuck with social media too much. Bo and the other guys that are with Three Kings Boxing, they do a little bit more of the
part of my job.
Right. It is. You're right. They do a little bit more of engaging with the people. I'll engage here and there. Bo deals with the shit a lot. Motherfuckers actually
tying themselves to networks. You know what I'm saying? More so than fighters just now. I mean, they'll actually do both, but the networks take a priority now. Like, oh man, you know, we fucking with the zone over here. We fucking with Showtime over our nigga. We fucking with ESPN over here. That shit is the worst shit to try to filter through whenever you're trying to have good boxing conversations, man. You talk to somebody and you come to the realization that the whole reason why they're even speaking from a certain standpoint is because they've aligned themselves with a certain network. Yep. You know what I'm saying? It's bad when you do it with fighters, but when you do it with networks, it's like, well, goddamn, there's nothing we can tell you then.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
Nothing, dog. You had ESPN when after after Bob Arum made the comment, Heyman is holding up the fight. You had all these motherfuckers at EB, Andre Ward, Max Kellerman sitting there saying, well, how come Heyman don't want to fight? How come Heyman don't want to make the fight? None of these motherfuckers sat right here and said, well, wait a minute, did he talk to him?
Yeah.
None of them said that none of them openly admitted, well, Al Heyman did, that Bob Arum did say he would call him after the Khan fight. None of them said that. None of them said that shit. Like you said, they went along with that fucking narrative. So
remember what fucking Max Kellerman said? This nigga went so far with the narrative, the whole network. We must align with Top Rank because we're ESPN shit. That this nigga had the motherfucking audacity to try to speak on the characteristics of Al Heyman. Oh yeah, he don't like it when you do this. Nigga, how the fuck what he don't like, nigga? Right. You ain't spoke to no goddamn Al Heyman, nigga. Stop lying, bro. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, he went that far as to say that he has some type of personal, interaction with Al Heyman and knows what the guy thinks and feels. But get the fuck out of here, bro. And, motherfuckers done ran with that shit. Oh, man, Max Kellerman said, they don't give a fuck with Max. Yeah, he cool as shit. We interviewed him. He featured us on his first episode of Max on Boxing. Yes, that's cool. But at the end of the day, again, we down the middle. We still gonna get on that ass. No homo. And Max Kellerman, you know what the fuck you talking about, bro? Just aligning yourself with ESPN and Top Rank. Shit's ridiculous. But he's paid to do it, so fuck it. Get a paycheck, fuck it. Hey,
but you know what though? That's actually the reality of these networks. That's the actual reality of the networks is, listen, man, you're paid to promote us.
Yep.
Bottom line, point blank, period. You're paid to solely promote us. If it ain't about you promoting us, then we don't want to hear that shit. So I'm like you said, but I agree with you, man. That network fanboying and shit. Yeah, dog. Y'all right. I mean, hell, and listen. All of them niggas, PBC is guilty of the same shit. They all guilty of the same goddamn thing. But what we talk about is how motherfuckers try to act like, oh, it's just him and not the other. Man, get the fuck out of here, dog. Stop, man. Miss me with that, man. That shit has no place in boxing. I would love to know, when do we get like that in boxing where we can take a dude making a comment about how this guy don't want to work with white fighters, or no, this guy is going to tell his fighters not to work with the white guy when there's evidence he's worked with the white guy.
I don't know why and it's sad because they just took that shit and ran with it. Oh, you hear what Bob Arum said? Oh, he don't want to work with the white guy. Man, he is fucking right. Al Heyman's a racist. What?
Yeah. So agree. Lennox Lewis to a certain degree is doing the same thing now that he's aligned with it.
Yeah, he is.
He's clowning Joshua. Like Lennox Lewis is doing the Joshua, Mike Tyson was doing the Wilder.
Yeah, he is.
But some of that is a little bit of jealousy too, because Lennox Lewis never got the props that Joshua got to this degree.
Well, I don't know about that one. Lennox Lewis is the last heavyweight undisputed champion.
No, I mean from his own country.
I don't know, man. Lennox Lewis loved over there, bro. Let me just say this. I don't think Lennox Lewis got it as early as Anthony Joshua.
Okay.
I remember Lennox Lewis being talked about like a motherfucker, and it was getting on my nerves because I didn't like Lennox Lewis at the time. You know what I'm saying? When sorry garbage ass Hasim Rahman knocked him out, I was like, how shit, I don't remember when that fight was, but I had to be like 20. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I was happy than a motherfucker, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I didn't like Lennox Lewis. And I just remember everybody talking about Lennox Lewis, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that he just didn't get it as early as Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is another guy like Canelo. If right now, a lot of people are saying Lennox Lewis is the greatest British fighter of all time. A lot of people say that.
Right.
The way Anthony Joshua is going, though, and he continues to go the way that he's going,
he can eclipse Lennox.
He can eclipse Lennox Lewis,
which is what Marquez is doing right now to Canelo.
Which exactly Lennox Lewis.
Hold on. Go ahead. Keep going. Hold on.
Lennox Lewis is the Juan Manuel Marquez. Well, Juan Manuel Marquez is the Canelo. He's that to Anthony Joshua. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But, man, we're going to get up out of here, man. That was the last comment. We're going to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Make sure you go to 3kingsboxing.com to get the best source of boxing information, news, as well as interviews. We got a couple interviews we need to put up. We got a couple articles, man. We got a lot of shit that needs to go up. We backlogged, but we're going to get all that shit up, man. We got a lot of content coming y'all's way. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit up Twitter at 3kingsboxing. Hit us up at Instagram at 3kingsboxing. Hit us up on Facebook where shit is popping. Facebook.com/3kingsboxing. Also, hit that donate button, man. I had a couple people ask about the donate button a couple times already. It's on the website. It's going to be, if you're on your phone, you got to scroll all the way down and you'll see the donate button. Go ahead and click that. Do what you do there. If you're on your laptop or computer, tablet, it'll be on your top right corner. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do. Everybody who's already donated, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep bringing y'all content. 3 Kings Boxing is going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? We just going to keep this shit moving. Hey, Too Tough, by the way, I just realized who Too Tough was, bro. Yeah. He goes live on Facebook. I just realized who he was, man. Keep doing what you do, Too Tough. Also, don't forget about this podcast. This shit is every Monday and Thursday, 9:30 Eastern Time, 8:30 Central, 6:30 Pacific. I appreciate everybody and from the UK that's on here, man, because it's like 5 o'clock in the morning for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate everybody who tunes in that early in the morning. My man, Weed Degree and others. We appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But don't forget about that. Also, don't forget to go to Facebook from time to time. We will be going live on there. You know what I'm saying? We talk about all sorts of shit. It might be random boxing talk. There is no schedule on Facebook. We just jump on and shit, just start talking live.
Yeah,
so don't forget to check us out.
We always talking good shit behind the scenes. We got to start letting y'all hear some of this shit.
Yeah,
we don't be dealing. Hey, let me tell y'all something. We don't be agreeing. We be going at it sometimes.
Oh yeah,
this nigga, man.
Oh yeah. We be going at it, man.
But I'm looking forward to that pit. Lloyd Zoe, I'm looking at the pit.
He don't want it. Hey, he don't want it, bro. That nigga talking about Kyrie Irving and shit. Nigga don't want it, bro. that nigga, hey, bro, that nigga in a boxing channel, in a boxing chat talking about Kyrie Irving, nigga. You don't want that smoke, bro. Nah, real talk, man. I appreciate everybody, man. I appreciate everybody who disagrees, everybody who disagrees with us, everybody who agrees. Bring all that smoke into the chat, man. We definitely appreciate it. But for right now, we out. See you next Thursday.
Peace.